want to be ready.
Yo, man.
Okay. Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. That's not.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit him with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him. I never hated him. I never traded him. Independent, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Goosies Galore, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with view for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Dude, stop being a Dolphins fan. This is the only guy. Sharpen the harpoons!
He just ran for 200 yards.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? No, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? This is a legitimate question to everybody out there.
What do you want to ask?
Okay. If you bring in Jonathan Taylor,
Wait,
if
Okay, without Christian Wilkins getting signed,
Yeah.
what
what
are
are
you
you
doing?
doing?
What do you mean?
So
So
you
the
hell
hell
with
with
Christian
Christian
Wilkins?
Yeah, not the hell, but we got Super Bowls to win, baby.
No, but what are you gonna do?
What about it?
What are you gonna do with Christian Wilkins?
Franchise tag him next year.
Oh my goodness! Are
22 guaranteed. He'll be all right.
What does that say? To think about
What did it
this.
say?
He's a homegrown guy.
Who?
You drafted him, Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
You brought in 4 other guys and gave them substantial contracts.
Mhm.
And now you're gonna do it again without taking care of him, and you don't care? No, you got.
Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Oh, Leroy.
No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. You, unless you can be reasonable about it, I'm not doing
I
it.
am reasonable.
No, you're not.
What's
What are you
reasonable?
gonna do to Christian Wilkins?
Pay him too.
So what is that? What message does that
You're
send?
not
Pay him too.
committed to winning.
You can't. You're already $50 million over the cap for next year.
You can get rid of Agba. You can get rid of Xavier Howard. Boom. Done.
Whoa!
Okay,
So you
hold
want to
on.
get? Hold on.
Can we talk about this?
To bring in
I already read Barry Jackson's column on the outs.
to bring in
Yeah.
another running back after
No,
rushing for
the
200
running
yards.
back.
Is it
The running dude, he's 24. He's 24. You know how you were like shocked? You're like, oh, go believe no Benogany. He's only this age. I can't believe this guy's 24.
again? You can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
In order to make this move,
Yeah.
you have to come to the conclusion
Yep.
that you would be substantially better.
I agree.
Will you be substantially better? What is substantially better than 200 yards rushing?
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
You're going off Savon Ahmed might not even make the roster. You're going
Oh,
off that
okay,
guy.
but listen. So that means whoever's going to be in this place is going to be better than him.
I don't know that.
So you're saying they would cut the guy who's not the best?
I'm telling you right now that I
You-
don't know what would happen, but what I do know is if you paired up Jonathan Taylor and Raheem Mostert, Super Bowl, Super Bowl,
All right.
Super Bowl, Super Bowl. And could you imagine? I mean,
I can honestly say these are the days I hate radio
Why,
because you're
dude?
not
Why,
not
baby?
making any sense.
I'm making sense.
This doesn't make sense.
Dude, he wants to be here. Come on. You know, his agent's from down here.
You want to be the guy to go talk to Christian Wilkins?
He's not talking. He's being, he's doing his little holding. He doesn't
But,
wanna
but
practice, he doesn't
again-
practice.
But again, you want to be the guy to go tell Christian Wilkins, we're not going to pay you, but we're going to go pay some guy from Indianapolis.
Is he not playing or is he playing?
All right. I really don't think you've thought this.
So
through.
wait, your only quibble to this is that because you can't pay Christian Wilkins right away?
No, it's an overall message that you send to your team. A lot of teams like sending a message, like the Heat do.
Mm-hmm.
We take care of ours, right? Christian Wilkins has been a stand-up dude throughout all this.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't made a big deal. He hasn't called down anybody. He's just went out and done his work.
Sure, I agree.
Right? And to reward him for that, you're going to say, let's go sign this other guy and we'll just franchise him next year.
He made his choice. He's holding out of drills.
And you're doing this because he's holding out of drills. I knew I didn't want to do this.
What?
I don't want to do this because you're so.
It
doesn't even make sense.
Well, what's your bigger?
This doesn't make sense.
Okay, what's your bigger quibble? Is your quibble that you're not going?
How much better are you going to be with Jonathan Taylor? You just ran for 200 yards.
Didn't he take the Colts to the playoffs with Phillip Rivers as portrait quarterback?
We were already in the playoffs last year.
I know, but this guy. But think about this.
Here?
It's like it's.
Please tell me. No.
Whoa.
I would like you to tell me how much better as a team would you be with Jonathan Taylor, and then tell me how much better you'll be without Christian Wilkins.
Well, you're not losing Christian Wilkins. Why do you keep acting? See, here's the thing. I don't understand why you do this and you act like Christian Wilkins gets to up and leave this year.
No, but I'm just saying, why wouldn't you take care of your own?
They will. Why does that have to be mutually exclusive?
Okay.
I just told you how they could get
because
some cap space.
How?
They cut Ogba in the offseason. They cut Xavier Howard in the offseason. They got the money.
Why are you cutting Xavier Howard?
Gotta make it work.
Come on, there's nothing else.
Getting a little long in the tooth. You got Jalen Ramsey here. You're gonna have Cam Smith.
Wait,
trying to replace.
Isn't Jalen Ramsey older than X?
I don't know. He's not. But like, who's better?
What if we get
right now? Xavier Howard, because
with his old
my
groin.
You know what's amazing? To make his point, do you see how he will turn on any player?
I'm not turning on.
Yes,
anybody.
you are. You want to
turning
cut
on
Xavier Howard,
but you're asking me tomorrow's problems today. When today I can get.
No,
Jonathan
this is
Taylor.
a today's problem.
It's not a today's problem.
So
today's
you don't
issue
think
is-
Christian Wilkins is a problem today?
No.
Why not?
He's under contract, and you can franchise him.
You're missing the point here. The point is that if you want to be a team that takes care of your own, you can't go sign 5 guys from other teams, give them extensions, redo their contracts, and not take care of your own guys.
That's true.
Okay.
And by the way, they've already made that precedent. So why all of a sudden you make an exception for Christian Wilkins? They clearly haven't.
Because he's probably one of your best 2 or 3 players on the team.
But they haven't signed him yet. So why, I don't understand why you're getting mad at me for something they're already showing their hand for. Like, they could not have Jonathan Taylor and still not pay Christian Wilkins because they didn't get Dalvin Cook and they still didn't pay Christian Wilkins. And you're yelling at this idea that you get Jonathan Taylor, that means you're not going to get Christian Wilkins. It's like, well, they haven't already. So why should I deprive myself of some fun as a fan of getting Jonathan Taylor when the organization hasn't paid him yet?
Are you want Jonathan Taylor because of the name or because of the production?
Production.
Really? And how much more production would you get out of him that you won't get from these guys?
Nearly 2,000 yards?
That's in that
He's
offense.
the youngest running back to ever run for 2,000
They are,
hold on.
They are
touchdowns.
a running football team.
20.
This is a little bit different.
Hold on, dude. I don't understand. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
How could you not like this?
You were just telling me yesterday about how impressed you were with the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Their commitment to it, how things are going to start working for it.
Right.
I don't understand the idea of you have a guy who is clearly better in his career. There's no debate about it. That Jonathan Taylor's is a better running back than anybody we got by a long shot. The only guy I can't really argue that is A-Chain because I don't know what A-Chain's going to be.
You don't know what he's going to be.
Okay?
Correct.
You have a chance to get him. Put yourself even more over the top. You pair him up with Raheem Mostert, and you're like,
No, let me tell you why. Because you're taking the production that he had in Indianapolis and trying to make that same production here.
Why wouldn't I?
And what I'm saying, because the offenses are different. They run the ball a lot different than Indianapolis did. So the production that you would get wouldn't be the same because he'd be in a different offense.
So you don't think Mike McDaniel can figure him out?
You think
It's
he's
not
a product
that.
of the system?
It's just this. No, he's not. I'm saying he is the best product of that system.
He's really good.
Okay,
Well, their system
but
is-
down here, if you look at the running backs and how they run the football, it's a different type of run game. It is.
How?
How?
Yeah, how?
Okay, because one is nothing but speed. They run the ball with a lot of different people,
What's his
right? They don't have just one bell cow guy that they put in the backfield and say you are a running back. They run out a bunch of different formations with a lot of different people. Wide receivers run the football. They do a lot of different things with the run game to run the football
He
here.
had the fastest combine time.
But-
He's fast.
And where do you think that fits? So are all these guys.
But they're not Jonathan Taylor, dog.
4.39. This guy's
I
good,
give.
dude.
I can't. I
guy's
will not have
really
another
good.
conversation. No, I'm not at
Well,
all.
let me have
dude.
some fun.
No,
Wow,
but your
Leroy.
fun is not even being realistic. Like you
Well,
have
let me ask
you
this.
have to look at
Okay.
okay, go.
But here's the thing. First of all, I have a GM who likes stars. Okay.
Okay,
He's a star bleeper,
okay.
which is not, there's nothing wrong with that. I like it.
Right.
He's definitely shown a propensity to give up high draft picks for stars.
You don't have any.
He does. He has next year's pick.
Okay.
Now he did say at this year's draft that he would let Mike McDaniel have his first round pick ever, but Jonathan Taylor, baby. And then the other thing on this is their behavior has shown they were reportedly made an offer for Dalvin Cook.
Mhm.
Okay, they were interested in Dalvin Cook. Whatever, they had their budget
Right.
on it.
Right.
They reportedly checked in on Saquon Barkley.
Mhm.
Of course, they're gonna be interested in Jonathan Taylor.
No.
so, like, even though-
no. Checking in and really making an effort to get him are two different things.
Unless you got shut down.
Okay.
Unless you got shut down. by the
Here.
Giants.
They made an offer to Dalvin Cook.
Mhm.
They were negotiating. This is what we have to offer. Take it or leave it. He left it. Okay, that's not. Ooh, they really wanted
No,
Dalvin.
but they also reportedly were thinking about trading for him even before he got
Yeah.
off the Vikings.
Absolutely.
So like they have shown, and they show
Nothing serious. Just because you kick the tires on something doesn't mean that.
If you have a guy who's at his age, which is 24 years old,
Mhm.
like you could give him whatever contract it is. And I don't even know how smart that is because I know no running backs are getting paid this year, but it's a little weird to argue that running backs are underpaid and then have a problem with it. But either way,
So you'd redo him and give him 10, 12 million a year?
probably for his age, yeah.
All right.
I mean, why are you laughing at that?
Because I think it's stupid.
Why?
It's stupid.
But why?
Because you are willing to give a running back.
Well, should running backs be taken care of or not? I don't really get your point of this because you said running backs should be taken care of.
I think running backs are important,
Okay.
right?
So why?
I think
so this guy's.
I
the
think
best.
no. I think that Jonathan Taylor should have got 10 plus million in Indy. Okay. But to come here and get 10 to 12 million is ridiculous just based on the offense that they run. You're not going to put Jonathan Taylor back there and say, you're our running back. You're going to run all three downs. That's not the offense they run. So why would you pay somebody that much to be a part-time running back?
Why not just bring him in this year and just see?
You're not answering my question. Why would you pay a guy that much to be a part-time running back?
Because you've made the point that they need that to sell how good they are with, because they kind of got figured out by the end of last year. They got figured out with their offense.
No. They didn't get figured out with their offense. They got figured out with all them damn injuries.
No, they got.
They were limited by the
Even in the
quarterback
game-
that have to play.
Nope. Even in the games that Tua was playing on the road by the end, everybody kind of figured out what they were doing. They became predictable.
Okay, so that's what another year in offense does.
Maybe it
Makes you
does.
less predictable.
Maybe.
No, like it's.
But what would cheer that up?
No, that's
Jonathan
not true.
Taylor.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Listen, I'm not like doubting the talents of Jonathan Taylor. I'm not. Okay? But the same conversation I have with Dalvin Cook is the same conversation I'm going to have with Taylor. And that's this, is that you run the ball a number of different ways, a number of different formations with a lot of different people, right? Anybody who comes here is not going to be the primary guy he was at the team that he left, because that's not what this offense does. So why would you pay top dollar for a guy you're going to play Not as much as he played in his last team.
But even with Dalvin Cook, what I would say is Dalvin Cook's 28, like, which for running backs, it's like strippers. Like, that's old for a running back now. Like, there's a big, I'm sorry. I don't
Did
mean
you?
you know, they kick the stripper out by 30. That's kind of how they've been doing with the running back, you know? But like with Jonathan Taylor, he's got a lot of years on the pole left.
Okay.
Only 24.
How do we get here?
Again, you still haven't answered my question.
I feel like I have.
How are you going to pay a guy? Just from a financial standpoint, from
Is it
a
a
money
financial standpoint or an optics standpoint?
Everything. First of all, your priority is taking care of Christian Wilkins. Okay? But I'll set that aside. Okay. I'll let you make another player on the team miserable to get what you want.
He's already miserable.
No, he's not miserable.
He's not?
They're working on this contract.
Are they?
So my question to you is, why would you pay premium dollar for a part-time player? You're not going to get he's not going to get the ball 30 times a game.
Why wouldn't you give him the ball?
That's not what this offense does. Oh my God, I can't.
Listen, we got to take a
no.
break. Jon Anik's going to join us later on this hour.
Goodness. You're an idiot. You are an idiot, and I can't believe we only been doing the show for 15 minutes because
this guy said pay running backs, and all of a sudden he doesn't want to play.
I didn't realize he didn't like running backs. Leroy Hoard.
Leroy Hoard. Not for supporting his brother. Yeah.
Wow. Tobin and the Toad. Go at it. There you go.
Back after this.
Ribbit.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Belly of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, up down, oh below my bully boy blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our...
I don't know why he's so mad at me. I don't understand. Like,
I didn't realize he hated running backs.
I didn't understand. Like, yeah, shouldn't he care about his I don't know, professional lineage or something like that?
All of a sudden, he's caring about D tackles.
I like Christian Wilkins too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't understand what one thing has to do with the other. Like, the Dolphins have clearly been interested in a star running back. Like, I get what Leroy's saying, that they have a system and that they're going to weave guys in, but also they clearly put a value on it, because why are they rumored to be around every star running back that's been available? Like, as soon as it happened, Barry Jackson's like, Dolphins will explore it.
Okay, now this is the thing. You said you quoted Barry Jackson's article on this as well.
Yep.
I don't like getting rid of Xavier Howard.
Yeah, but that's next year. That's not this year. We don't have to get rid of him until the offseason. I'm just saying, Barry's just making the example theoretically. If you wanted to make cap space, it's not that hard. Like, they could do it in the offseason, which is what the point is the entire time, is like, we keep making these things of, they're going to be in cap hell. They're going to be. We don't know, dude. The cap is fugazi. It's a lie.
Is fugazi.
It's a lie. And, they just make it up as they go. And the cap, who knows? They could have like the official NFL toilet next year, and the cap goes up by $100 million. It's made up. It's a problem for next year. That's my big point of it. I'm not against paying Christian Wilkins. Yeah. I'm for winning now. This team needs to win now, because the guy that they really got to worry about paying next year, believe it or not, should he stay healthy, is their quarterback, who, by the way, is going to make twice the amount of Christian Wilkins, even if he's not that good. That's the bigger thing. So I'm just that. I get it. I get the arguments. Running back is devalued.
It's not even
simply
that.
Look at the franchise tags. Saquon Barkley is making what, 10 million this year, 11 million.
Right.
Christian Wilkins, who was franchise next year, would make twice that. That's the franchise number. It's a clearly more valued position, but I'm not the franchise that's held up on it. We're here on August 22nd. They still haven't paid him. Every other D tackle other than Chris Jones got paid.
I just got tricked by one of the comments. I'm very sad.
What happened?
I read a comment. I think it was from, I don't know. Again, either way, it said, oh, it's from Josh. I heard Jonathan Taylor is best friends with Bam. He's best friends with everyone. So I Googled it. I definitely Googled it. Nothing.
No, but I think I did see on Twitter yesterday. I don't know who on Dolphins Twitter put it, but who blocked for him at his school? Alec Ingold.
Oh,
little fullback running back.
Got to get Ingold on the phone.
Yeah, get him on the horn. You're done with me today already. You're not going to argue this anymore. I'm not. You don't look right.
I'm not arguing this anymore. You are the only buffoon in the NFL that wants to pay somebody.
I do seem like the only buffoon that wants to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's two running backs making $15 million a year. It's McCaffrey and a Kamara.
Yep.
And I don't know what he would want. I would assume that he wants Christian McCaffrey.
He said he wants $12 million a year.
That it?
$12 million? That's affordable.
$2 million more than the franchise tag.
It's not that bad. That's not too shabby.
It's not your money.
Well, we'll get rid
of
it.
That's why.
It's not my money.
Another F1 race.
What are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to buy another race?
Here's if the Dolphins had run for 70 yards and looked bad running the football, right? The first 2 weeks. I listened to your argument a little bit more. But when they have success running the football, to go out and make a luxury pick, that would be a luxury.
I love luxuries, though. Don't you like luxuries every once in a while?
Treat yourself, Leroy.
Treat yourself, dude.
Come on. I treat myself all the time.
I know you do. I know you do, man.
Yep. That's why you ended up with the middle seat on the way back.
Oh, it was so tiny. J-Fig, do you want Jonathan Taylor? Do you want stars?
Sure.
For $12 million. Dude, it's like you having a new truck.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes up with a souped up truck, but it's 3 years older. And you decide you want to go get that truck.
Not really, though.
But it's not going to be better than the truck you have, is my point. So why spend more money on another truck? The running game. If you could tell me, right, definitively, that if Jonathan Taylor was here, what we saw the last 2 weeks would be so much better, then I'd maybe hear your argument.
You're really shutting this down, though, based on a preseason game against the Texans?
I'm shutting it down based on how they looked. It doesn't matter who they played. Let me give you another little insight on. You know what the single hardest thing to do in preseason is? Run the football.
I thought we were going to say care.
Run the football. You know why? Because everybody's running standard defense and standard offense. Usually the defense win those battles all the time. When you've had this much success running the football with standard offense and standard defense,
okay, but
I'm just going to say their running game's going to be good.
Okay, Leroy, okay, so if they go out next week and they run for 60 yards against Jacksonville, your opinion then changes on Jonathan Taylor?
No.
Because you would kill me if that was the
case.
Because
I've seen it. They're going to be a good running team.
We'll take a quick break. Jon Anik, we're going to talk a little UFC. Jon Anik, friend of the program. He was on the call this weekend for Sean O'Malley's win in Boston. And we want to get the scene, man. Every time we want to talk some fighting, we get the voice of the UFC on. Jon Anik, he's going to join us next.
remember when I lost my mind.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin
Sausage
Leroy.
fingers. Sausage fingers. CeeLo.
Oh, okay. Dude, I once saw CeeLo do the national anthem at the Winter Classic. It was in New York. Got booed.
What?
Yeah, they booed the hell out of him, dude. He was wearing a fur coat. He didn't want to be there either. I could tell. He was freezing his ass off. It was ridiculous.
I mean, was he like 5'2" both ways?
Couldn't tell. I was in the upper deck.
He just looked like you could see the top.
I could just hear people booing. It was so cold, dude. The beers were freezing. It was rough.
What?
Yeah, dude.
You got to drink them faster.
I know. It was the first time I think I'd ever been to a cold weather event. I usually go down here. It was.
You've never?
I have now, but that was.
No, but I'm saying you've never been to like a football game where it was snowing or.
No. No, I went to one. I'm sorry, but I was a kid. I went back. Okay. I went to the Meadowlands.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Didn't your dad live up there?
Yeah, I went to the Meadowlands for Jets Jaguars way back in the day. But up until that point, as an adult, that was the first time. Anyway, let's get to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line shop. Hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. We love talking to this guy, the voice of the UFC. Jon Anik joins us there as UFC 292 was a banger this weekend, and it seems like the UFC coronated a new star with Sean O'Malley's TKO win over Aljamain Sterling. Jon, always appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Great to be with you guys. I went to a Titans-Patriots game, and, I couldn't drink the beer fast enough. The thing froze. It was the worst tailgate of my life. I spent it sitting in my Honda Civic. So I did 31 years in Massachusetts. I'm glad I'm in South Florida right now. Yeah, I mean, I would argue Suga Sean O'Malley was probably metrically a top 5 pay-per-view star for the UFC before this weekend, which may be overstating it. But certainly now when you have the belt, it gives you the opportunity to hit a stratosphere that you would not otherwise be able to hit.
You guys are so smart with this, Jon, when it comes to UFC, because they even realize you guys never do this, where you have a guy, he wins the pay-per-view. Usually you always get the still shots because they want to I guess be fair to the pay-per-view customer. They put that puppy up on YouTube so quick because they're like, let's ride this Sean O'Malley thing to the moon. What do you think was the thinking of that? We got to hop even more on Sean O'Malley's star power here and send him to the moon.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it was a decision by ESPN, our pay-per-view provider. The model changed when the ESPN deal started in 2019. So the UFC gets its nut no matter what, and ESPN can do something like this selectively. I'm sure for Aljamain Sterling, this isn't ideal that this is the time they choose to repurpose this to the entire world. But yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of strokes of genius. And even though I, as somebody who works for the UFC, was somewhat critical that this fight was happening on the challenger and not the champion's timeline, Sean O'Malley still has to go out and do it. And I just can't believe how many people, even Aljamain Sterling with respect, were underestimating this guy. The eye test for me says that this guy's an absolute sniper. He's super fast. The numbers suggest he's the most accurate, significant striker in the bantamweight division history. So I'm not sure anybody should be all that surprised that when he found an opening, he didn't miss.
Do you in any way feel for Aljo? Because I almost feel like he got more love in the loss than he had for his entire reign, which is kind of strange because when he was doing what he was doing, he's beating the guys that he did. I didn't feel like he was getting the appreciation. Now everybody kind of feels like, oh, now you give flowers because, he was the bantamweight goat that Sean beat, but they didn't appreciate it while he was doing it.
Yeah, that's all fair. I think for Aljamain Sterling, he has this specific circumstance. He's the only guy in UFC history to win an undisputed title by disqualification. Still the only guy. May probably go down as the only guy, and that is just not going to do you any favors in the court of public opinion. I do hope that he sort of feels a little bit of that love because there's obviously been a lot of animosity. I mean, to say what you want about his charisma or lack thereof might be a little bit quirky, but he's a really good dude and well-intentioned guy. Grew up with next to no parental support and was very emotional in our fighter meeting this week. So that's kind of the way it goes, though, in mixed martial arts, especially when it comes to decision fights, right? If you win a close decision and the fan base doesn't think you deserve to, oftentimes a win can feel worse than a loss, right? But when you lose a fight and everybody thinks you won it, you're the king of the town. So it's hey man, it's a tough sport. I don't have to tell you guys,
You think we'll see that fight again, and this time people will kind of warm up to Aljamain a little bit more?
There are a lot of layers to it, my man, right? Like Aljamain Sterling is one of the best weight cutters in the sport, as Joe Rogan aptly said on the broadcast. So I don't know how many bantamweight cuts he still has left. As some of your listeners may know, his best friend, Merab Dvalishvili, is also the number one contender, which also causes things because I think Aljo would like to sort of get out of the way, win or lose, so that maybe Merab can have that opportunity. I can tell you, Aljo texted me yesterday. He's out for the rest of 2024. 23. So he's not going to fight till next year. He's not going to rematch Suga Sean O'Malley in December. But yeah, I mean, if ever a bantamweight champion was worthy of an immediate rematch, it's Aljamain Sterling. I just don't think an immediate rematch is in the cards. I wouldn't be surprised if Aljo's next fight is Sean O'Malley if Sean can successfully defend. But I just don't think that's going to be the next fight for Sean, even though I think Sterling is richly deserving.
John, what was the atmosphere like as the win happens, as the crowd's going? Like, how did Boston, I guess, take in that win?
So I'm from Boston, so perhaps my comments will be viewed through a lens of a lack of objectivity, right? But I learned a lesson to not try to compete with that crowd when I'm trying to cap a championship fight, because they drowned me out for 5 or 6 seconds, and maybe the UFC in the future will be able to actually isolate that audio. But my goodness, I mean, it felt like a Celtics Game 7 in there. You know, it was just insane. I took the cans off for a second, and it was just deafening. But of course, coming from a Boston guy, I'm sure a lot of South Florida sports fans are like, yeah, all right, you know, but it was insane. And the lesson for me as the broadcaster, especially with a loud crowd like that, is maybe just way to beat if you can. It's hard in the moment, right? I'm trying to cap history, but maybe way to beat and try to get in there because, man, it didn't take them much to shower me the heck out.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, John, and if we could divert for a second, we know you're objective because we got tipped off last week on WEEI about somebody. They were saying, oh, they'll take Mac Jones still over Tua, and I didn't know that the jumping off point was you. Yeah. And the jumping off point was apparently they were playing it on the morning show, and the jumping off point was, I guess, you were on one of the shows on EEI, and you apparently are not a Mac Jones guy. That you are rats off a ship on Mac Jones, which I understand, John. I mean, why wouldn't you be? But the idea that you are objective on your QBs, but the thing we were fascinated listening back to you is you actually have a quarterback list. You have made up a quarterback list.
I did, because these guys are trying to prevent me from ever calling an NFL football game in my life, throwing Mac Jones under the bus. And I knew that when I went in studio, they wanted to, talk about my supposed Mac Jones hatred. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. And certainly for your listenership, if you pull up a list of the NFL quarterbacks, even go pull up a fantasy football list, right, of rankings. It's not that far off in terms of where these guys actually rank. And other than maybe Sam Howell and some of these rookies, there aren't that many guys that you would go into this season with, instead of Mac Jones. He's 27 or 28 in the league with respect. So, right. Yeah, you're blowing my mind that even somebody would talk about him in the same realm as Tua. I'm okay if, one New England fan wants to, through rose-colored glasses, suggest that Mac Jones is better than Daniel Jones, but he just does not pass the eye test for me. And I hope Mac Jones isn't a UFC fan. I'm so fearful he's going to show up octagon side, and I'm going to have to register an apology betwing fights.
Listen, you got to get Tua to a fight whenever you guys are coming back down. The guy's doing jiu-jitsu now. Everybody's like, doing the huge fall. Like we had Gilbert Burns on, and he's like, I'll teach him anytime, because Gilbert's apparently a rabid Dolphins fan now because his kids love Tyreek Hill. So he's like, I'll teach Tua whatever he needs to know so he doesn't get hurt. So he's getting embraced by all the MMA community. You may have an in there.
That's great. Yeah, I heard Tua is trying to learn how to fall and incorporating some jiu-jitsu tendencies and training. That's great. We'd love to get Tua at a show. The NFL guys are kind of prohibitive, right? Because like even in Vegas in the summer, some of them can't necessarily do. But yeah, hopefully we can get him there during the off season, because I do think anyone who hasn't seen this stuff live, you go to one live event and then you get it.
If you don't see it live, TV doesn't do it justice. You got to get the atmosphere. You got to get everything, even the coming out when they come out. Like, oh, it's just awesome.
John, what do you make of the career right now of Ian Gary? His performance this weekend at against Neil Magny, I guess his persona that he's kind of getting into. Like, what do you think is the ceiling for this kid?
Championship. He's 25 years old. My podcast co-host Kenny Florian is not willing to say championship yet. I think there's so much connective tissue between Ian Gary and Sean O'Malley. I think the big difference maybe is that Ian Gary has an entire, albeit small, nation of Ireland behind him. and right now could just bang out arenas in Ireland like it's nothing. Not that Sean O'Malley couldn't, of course, but Ian Gary is a sponge. He listens, and even though there's all this bravado and there's this cockiness on his fighter bio, he lists a strength as his ego. He understands his ego. He has a wisdom that certainly, but there's a wisdom that belies his 25 years. This is a kid who grew up in Ireland during sort of the rise of Conor McGregor, and that's what got him to really take the next step. But he's got a good frame for the division. His head's a little bit small. Some people tell me his head's a little bit small, which maybe genetically isn't ideal in terms of long-term taking a shot. But he's going to establish roots in Brazil, training camp. What's that?
Isn't a smaller head harder to hit?
Yeah, but it doesn't take much, right, to hit that hit right on the button, But he's still going to be in South Florida as his primary training camp, but he's going to establish roots in Brazil and not be living this nomadic lifestyle that he's been living of late. But he's a sniper on the feet, still untested on the ground. But I'm just as bullish on Ian Gary as I am on Sean O'Malley. It's just there's the speed and distance management. These guys are just next level strikers. And I would say Ian Gary already probably top 15 striker in the whole UFC.
Man. Yeah. Like when he mentioned the Wonder Boy thing, I was like, man, that I don't know if the fight will happen or not. I know Dana said that in Wonder Boy may not be keen on, but if it did happen, John, man, that's that one there is right. I mean, I couldn't even imagine how exciting that brawl would be.
Well, and Ian Gary will be favored, right? And people will be like, no, and it's like, yes, unequivocally, right? He opened minus 340 against Neil Bagney, who stepped in on relatively short notice this past weekend, and minus 340 was gone in a blink. So Ian Gary's the real deal. And certainly Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is not the guy that's going to test him in the grappling realm. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's coming up on 40. This kid's 25, and he hasn't even arrived yet in his fighting prime. So most people, the handicap begins in that age column, and like 15 years between these guys, but we'll see. We'll see. There were some rumblings that maybe Wonderboy had some reluctance to accepting this fight, which they seemingly want to do in November, Madison Square Garden. So we'll see. But I think that fight makes just too much sense to not do.
Couple more before we get you out of here, John. I guess MSG is the rumored. I don't know if they've officially announced it, but the rumored date of John Jones and Stipe. I'm sure Stipe's going to be a monster underdog if that fight does happen. Would I be crazy to think that he could pull it off? Because I know John, he buzzsawed Cyril Gahn, but like this is the heavyweight GOAT, and he doesn't really have a weakness other than this thing than age. Would you think he has the best chance of anybody that John's ever faced to beat him?
Yes, and it's probably not the play-by-play guy's job to tell you that Stipe is a live underdog, but the betting line is out, and I was very surprised to see, I think, something like plus 225. Maybe even north of that next to Stipe. I don't get it. He has come in at different weights relative to the challenge. It seems like he wants to he had put on some weight for Francis Ngannou, and now I think he'll probably come in with that weight, that added muscle mass for the Jon Jones fight. But yes, I mean, if anybody can do it, it is certainly Stipe. And I think if anybody is more committed to the cause on a day-to-day basis, despite his advanced age, if I can say that, it's Stipe, right? Jon Jones is out doing things. I mean, social media is a pretty good indicator, and it seems like Stipe has, quietly just been absolutely working and training and getting better. So I think Stipe has a great chance, and I'm just hoping the fight stays together, right? Sometimes I feel like it's ambitious for these guys like Jon Jones and Henry Cejudo. They're out for 3 years, and now all of a sudden they're going to fight, twice inside of 6 or 7 months. So I'm hopeful we get there, and Jon deserves to be the favorite. He's the greatest of all time, but yeah, Stipe's got a great shot.
And just before we get you out of here, John, the Conor thing, like it keeps going. He said on Twitter, he's like, oh, looks like it's not going to be this year. Then he comes out yesterday, December's back on the table. What do you make of all of this? The uncertainty, how Michael Chandler's got to be dealing with this, just when we get Conor back and just like, it feels like the goal line just kind of keeps moving on it.
Dude, I feel like Conor's getting a lot of unfair criticism in all of this. Chris Weidman had essentially the same injury, and he just came back a few nights ago, and his right leg, to me, sitting octagon side, respectfully looked atrophied and not at all ready to go. So whatever people want to sort of speculate as to what Conor McGregor is doing outside of the USADA pool to try to get healthy, this is a tremendously severe injury that there are regular human beings out there who suffer this injury 2 years later. They can't run, they can't jump, they can only barely walk, right? So I think we got to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. But now he seems ready to go. it'll be either December or January. I guess that's cautious optimism. You know, it seems like over the last 24 hours, he said December's out. Now it's back on the table. We're inching closer. And again, I do believe the guy wants to be in an active competition cycle, but he has to go out and prove that. And he was in a good cycle when he was fighting Poirier, and then his leg snapped in two, and nobody seems to want to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm hopeful that we'll see him a few times next year.
Isn't this his own doing, though? Because I think we'd be more patient with a lot of other fighters just based on their history and how they go about things. And because Conor is Conor, good and bad, right? He doesn't necessarily always get the benefit of the doubt or the things that you're talking about, because I do realize it's a serious injury.
Yes, but there are also things that work against him, right? Like during COVID, my man, they weren't going to trot Conor McGregor out at the UFC Apex, right?
Got you.
Can you imagine Conor walking out at the Apex? You know, he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight during COVID-19. I mean, could you imagine a superstar like that in his prime with no crowd at the Apex? It wasn't going to happen. So yes, of course he has done things that have made his active competition cycle not what we all thought it would be. But when he did return, I think he did with clear intentions against Poirier when they fought twice a couple of years ago to make a concerted effort at a world championship. And yeah, I don't love that maybe he's trying to position himself for a BMF belt, right? I think a talent on Conor's level should be chasing undisputed greatness still, right? In terms of really trying to cement your MMA legacy. No one's suggesting he's going to be a Mount Rushmore guy pound for pound, but the guy's got one lightweight win, right? That's his best weight class. He has one UFC lightweight win when he beat Eddie Alvarez for the title, and that's it. So you're not wrong. But I do think some things work against the superstars that aren't brought to light too.
John, we always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
There you go. Jon Anik joining us there.
See what it's like to have a reasonable conversation with somebody
He's a
and not be.
Are you saying because he's got credibility and I don't?
No, you have a lot of credibility that you ruin on a daily basis.
That's fair.
With your nonsense. What a nice conversation to have.
He's
all the angles.
Yeah.
Not you. Not listen, let me tell you. We talk about football, basketball, and baseball. Silly sauce. You see how serious this dude was talking about the fight game?
True.
You're a fraud.
Very, very mature.
Yes.
No.
That's
yes. Different.
Yes.
I'm the same all the time.
No.
Nope.
Nonsense. Because anytime we go into a fight, you look at me and give me the look like your dad and I'm a little boy. Don't.
I feel like John doesn't even know you're silly. He's never even seen that side of you.
He doesn't.
It's like Tobin?
He doesn't.
Whale calls?
Coming up next, would you trade Christian Wilkins for Jonathan Taylor?
And we're back.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen.
According to you, we know what hour it's not. Christian Wilkins.
Please don't get him on the show.
I am.
No,
I am.
Why?
No, I am. I want you to tell him this whopper.
I will.
No, he is a
No, you-
Celtics fan.
You know what? Thanks, Marcos. It'll make it easier.
Wow.
Just saying.
You,
Just saying, dude.
Marcos,
Showed up in green to a Heat finals
why
game.
are you?
Wasn't it like green shoes?
Green shoes?
You know what it's like?
Gross.
He's like pouring fuel on the
Yes.
coals.
He's a pot stirrer.
Yeah.
He's a pot stirrer.
He is actually.
And I got to look at him on the screen because the
Pole, bro.
why
Poles.
don't we have just a window?
Can I just say
Good question. I
This
don't
is the
know.
dumbest
I
thing
don't
in the
really
world.
I don't
This
have a good
is-
answer for that.
This is my same view
I don't
at
think
both
they do
improvs.
either.
It's very weird. I don't know. Maybe
It was, even at the other studio, it was a solid glass.
What's going on
it
here?
was.
It was?
You're right.
You could see through it.
It was.
Yeah.
You could see right through it.
I'm gonna ride a ticket.
Now it wasn't as nice a studio, but I don't really understand why the studio has 3 panes
In
of
all the
glass.
windows.
And you could also see through to the other studios, which was always very distracting.
Yeah.
Like when we were doing the show the same time as Joe,
We would always look over.
you could always, because we've been doing the show on video even before Twitch. We would be like recording some, and you could just see them in the background. And be like, so odd, so odd. But anyway,
when Len was dancing, like I think it was last week.
I know.
That
What was
great.
that?
I
That's
don't
pretty
know.
fun.
did you ever figure out what that was?
I didn't. I will.
Schmeeth and Schmolnick says Tobin turns into Bob Costas when he talks MMA. What a fraud.
Yes. yes.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
Why can't I have
That's
something
it.
I'm serious about?
That's it.
It's not true. I'm serious
Just
about
imagine.
things.
Just imagine.
Whoa.
When we go to Vegas, I try to silly sauce it up because I'm going to put him in the same situations he put me in. But it doesn't work.
Well, yeah, until we have Keith Thurman show up. He's like,
Yeah. Like then Keith Thurman, he's trying to, he's got me beat.
it was a scramble and a gamble.
Yeah. Like,
Been a scramble and a gamble. Okay. Little faint and I step back. Oh, look, he can't touch me. Oh, okay, this is pretty. I found the formula.
I gotta tell you, what the thing was though? It was really good analysis.
It was really good
It was
analysis.
just- if you were on radio, you had no idea what was happening, but like he was shadow boxing with us while it was happening. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
and he was pretty spot on.
He cost me. He made me.
Well,
he made me double down.
He said the draw. I tell you what, man. I'm not. I was listening to Terrence Crawford on the way, and he was on Rogan, and he was like, he's all about this Canelo fight. And I got to be telling. I got the Goosies about that.
Really?
Yeah.
So
he was
does he have
against
to go
that.
up or Canelo have to come down?
He's like, I'll go up 3 weight classes. I want to be.
But that's like 12 pounds.
It's
Okay,
21
okay.
pounds.
It's 21 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's walking weight.
Walking weight, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So now he just.
He's
Just-
like, but he's like, Canelo's not big. He's 5'8". He's just muscular. He's like, I'll beat him. I was like, oh, this guy.
If he.
He's a demon. I believe him.
Damn. Wow.
I believe him.
Because I do watching that last fight, I do believe he is Mayweather with more pop.
I agree.
He
Right.
beats Canelo. Is he the greatest of all time?
Yes.
How could you? Yeah, I don't even know.
Because the only person Canelo lost to is
First of all, he'd be the first
Mayweather.
He'd be the first undisputed 3-division male champion. I think only Clarissa Shields has done it in women's boxing.
Whoa.
And yeah, like
Damn.
going up 3 weight classes.
Damn. I gotta see that, dude. I gotta see that.
I gotta see it.
Will
too.
that be the biggest? Because the past fight we went to was huge.
I think it would be the big. I think it would be bigger. I think it would be bigger than Tank Garcia, which was 1.1 million. I think it would hit 2 million buys.
You think
that-
boxing learned
And
their
boxing
lesson?
doesn't have any of those, but I feel like Terrence Crawford off that win, Canelo being Canelo. Oof.
But here's the problem. They're both the two different promotions.
No, they're not anymore.
They're not?
No, they're not.
So it could really happen.
It could really happen.
Because like that drives me Dude, that drives me crazy.
I know. No, it could. There's not really a promotion. The only thing that's a hang up is Canelo said on his first, whim of it was, well, I won't get any credit because, you guys will say I'm being illegal, but he's really not big. Like he's 5'8". He's like, he's more for the weight class. He's fought up to light heavyweight, there was talk. Remember, like people were crazy. Like, oh, Canelo's going to go fight a heavyweight. He's going to go that. I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not a crazy fight to do. It's not.
Do you think boxing?
But does he have a point to this from this standpoint? Is that you don't ever want to have a fight where no matter what happens, you're not going to be regarded in a positive light. And I think that's where he's getting at. That if Bud goes up 3 weight classes and loses, they're going to say that's because he went up 3 weight classes. If he goes up and beats Canelo, see, nothing positive can happen to Canelo.
I don't know. Like Floyd beat a young Canelo in light. Like there was some quibbling about it, but still beat him.
But nobody really, nobody really got on Mayweather for not fighting him again.
No,
because he would never.
Well, listen, nobody ever called,
he ain't a dummy.
Other than 50 Cent, nobody's ever called Mayweather dumb.
Right. But so
50 Cent has.
So funny though.
Right.
So funny.
That might have been.
Did he offer him to read Harry Potter? Was it $1 million?
Yeah.
Per page.
He's not offering you $1 million a page. Not even like he could have made like $400 million.
Been real quiet since then.
Some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto.
We know trucks. We didn't do this the first hour because I almost killed you.
Yeah, my bad. But also, you knew what was going to happen today.
No, and here's the worst part. He goes, hey, man, the show starts in 50 seconds. Can we wait to do this then? And I'm like, I really don't want to because.
No, because you were like, surprised. I was like, what? You didn't send out the text last night. I'm like, text about what, dude? He goes, Jonathan Taylor. I'm like, I did. I thought you responded to it, but it was actually Marcos who responded to it.
Nah.
But I thought you saw the text last night. And so then like as soon as I was like getting ready to say, as soon as I said I did text about it, he's ready to hop into takes and we're going on the air in 50 seconds. I'm like, just hose me
but
down.
I didn't want to be mad.
Yes, you did.
I want you to be mad before.
Yes,
I
you
know
did.
that conversation was not going to end that quickly.
I knew it wasn't going to end. Like
It was going to carry over.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Can I be honest with you? I don't think your points are bad on this. I will be honest with you. I don't think your points are bad. But I really do think that Chris Grier loves the home run. I do.
But here, can based on what you have, how much of an improvement would it be? And that's the point you got to make. If you're paying all those guys a total of
I don't know, dude. You tell me, what is the difference between
running for 200 yards and having Jonathan Taylor?
No, forget about the 200. The only thing I'm really mad about you today is you keep referencing a
No. Here's why.
The only thing. And I'm
here's why I say that. Okay. And I'm gonna keep saying this from this standpoint. The offensive line looked a lot better than we thought.
It did.
Based on the fact that they made an effort to run the football.
And that's with the starter and probably the front running left guard not playing.
Right. Okay. Now, if I take and put in a different running back, how much better is that going to be? It's not going to be 5 million more better.
What about the fear factor?
Dude, with all that speed, you think the defense aren't scared as hell enough?
I don't know. More weapons.
Everybody runs a 4-3.
But then you got Jonathan Taylor, baby.
You just can't.
New JT. I don't know if he's a film junkie like OG JT though.
Damn.
Jason Taylor, film junkie.
Anybody got any Profil? What is that stuff?
What do you mean?
Right, they give you right before you go into surgery, and they tell you to count to 15, count to from 100, count to 1 from 100, and you get to like 98, and then you wake up and it's over.
Dr. Spot goes WQAM quibbling all morning.
It's not quibbling. It's not quibbling all morning. It's not. It's not. Like he's just wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're wrong. It makes no sense.
Am I wrong?
It's not realistic. It makes no sense.
Okay, so you're
and I'm you know what I'm gonna say? If if he does it
Mhm.
and gives Jonathan Taylor an extension, I'm going to say he's a moron.
Chris Grier.
Yes.
You'll say that.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, look, and you know what else? Especially if Christian Wilkins is not taken care of within 2 minutes after doing it.
Interesting.
I may soften if Christian Wilkins is taken care of. But if you take care of Jonathan Taylor and don't take care of Christian Wilkins, no. That's the dumbest move you can make.
What if they trade Wilkins?
Why would they trade him? You're like
Just getting crazy now.
right. This is what it is. This is what I deal with.
Have to.
He's just trying to make the situation fit him wanting Jonathan Taylor.
I think he's really
So for you to get Jonathan Taylor, you're going to do the same thing Indianapolis is doing with Jonathan Taylor to another one of your players. How does that look to your team?
I'm sure it doesn't look great, but aren't they already doing it? Like they're already at the point where it's like, hey, we know
still got damn near a month before the season starts. You got time.
Okay, but like, doesn't it always go away if you end up paying the next guy? So like, if they don't pay Christian Wilkins, but they pay Jalen Waddle, or they don't pay Christian Wilkins, but they pay Jalen Phillips, like
they're not.
There's always going to be a next guy that you can take care
but
of.
nobody's sitting out.
Well, he's the only one who's up on the deal.
Right, exactly. So why would you talk about paying somebody else? It's his turn. He earned it.
Mm-hmm.
If you avoid paying guys that have earned it with your franchise and go pay somebody outside of your franchise, it's a bad look.
Okay, but I think that's like more of a basketball thing. Like,
no, it's not.
I think it is.
The hell it isn't.
Leroy, do you think that Jalen Waddle would ever walk if the Dolphins offered to make him the highest paid wide receiver and he'd be like, I remember what you did to Christian Wilkins? No, of course not. Like that's what I'm saying. The next guy gets taken care of.
Here's what happens with that. Okay, is that instead of working out deals where you can sign everybody, then everybody sees what the organization does and goes, "No, I want all my money," and you get put in a tougher spot.
You're saying on the idea if you sign deals early. Here's
the deal: if you don't show the players on your team that this is an organization that's going to take care of their own, right? Before anything, then what happens is when those players are up, they're not going to work out no cap-friendly deals. They want all of their money.
Who's doing that these days, though?
Everybody is. Are you kidding me?
Who? Tom Brady, that Fugazi Patriot steal that he was doing all those years?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers just did it.
I don't believe it. I got to tell you.
He took a $35 million cut.
They say that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That money's somewhere. Johnson & Johnson stock, crypto, it's somewhere, dude. There's no way.
Wait.
Right now.
Would you be the jackass to take a payment in crypto?
He does shrooms. I don't know.
Crypto?
It's somewhere. That $35 million. Trust me when I tell you.
Are they paying you crypto to work here?
I might as well. Let me tell you when I tell you. Aaron Rodgers, mark my words, did not just give up $35 million.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to own a piece of the Jets. I don't know if he's got Johnson & Johnson stock. I don't know if it's under his mattress somewhere and all cash off the books. But trust me when I tell you that hippie did not give up $35 million. There's no way in hell, never happened, not true. Something they did just for a headline to make him look good. Did he give back $5 million? Maybe. $35 million? You effing believe that? Get out of here.
So just to make your
liar.
Wait, to make your point, you will call everybody at NFL a liar.
I know they're lying about that.
All right.
I don't know much about anything, but I know one thing's for sure. There's no way in hell Aaron Rodgers just gave up $35 million. There's no way. Not for the Jets. For the Jets? He didn't do it for the Packers, but did it for the Jets? Are you high? There's no way.
If I was, it might be better today.
There is.
I could deal with you a little bit more.
If you think Aaron Rodgers,
listen, during the next break, I'm going to go and take one of those strong, stiff of the Christmas tree that's hanging from my rearview mirror. I don't know what it's going to do, but
Red just goes, Rodgers hater alert. Wow, such a demeaning thing to just text in.
Also, do we ever get those smelling salts?
No, but you know what?
I'll get him.
I'll get him today.
I'm ordering
Overnight
right
that
now.
puppy.
I'm ordering right now.
All right.
Hey, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. You three guys are going to have some problems.
I like how he's just
because the deep.
See,
You all. Whew.
let me just tell you. Are you? What are you trying to say?
Well, nothing after you just called everybody in the NFL a liar.
No, just Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
And the Jets.
All I'm saying is.
And the media. $35 million.
If
I put out a poll right now, do you actually believe Aaron Rodgers will never see that $35 million again? And do you think like the majority of people say, oh yeah, definitely just gave it up? Get out of here.
It's actually impossible. I can't even think there's any way anyone would give up $35 million.
Some of the things you just dismiss and yell as just a damn lie, right? Like it happened. What do you want me to say?
$35 million.
Well, wait, what's 37? What's 35 million if you're worth 400?
$35 million, dude.
I mean, that's what it felt like I gave up to continue working here. Relative to what I was making. Right? So
but then you would have to talk Browns all day.
Huh?
Then you would have to talk Browns all day.
And live in the cold. Yeah, I know. Listen, I like my job.
Take a quick break. We got a special day.
The people
today.
I work with, you
those two you like, not me.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Why do you insist on just making it so difficult?
I don't want to be fun.
You don't want to be fun.
A little sweetener.
There it is.
It's a special day today. Tell you why next.
Oh, okay.
Tobin and Leroy coming at you. It is a special
Who's
day.
this? Who's this?
Dude, this is Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
I actually, I swear to God, I don't have it up there. Nobody chatted it in.
Did you whisper
No,
to him?
I swear to God, I knew it was Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder.
I forgot you could whisper it in.
I really enjoy. I love Stevie Wonder. I swear to God.
No.
I
texted him on break. I didn't whisper it in his ear. You know
I love Stevie Wonder.
Do you love Stevie Wonder?
I love Stevie Wonder.
Name 3 Stevie Wonder songs.
My Cherie Amour.
Mm-mm.
Very superstitious.
Oh,
no, it's not very
Superstition.
Superstition.
You know what they call the song?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm blanking.
Ebony and Ivory.
Damn it.
Come on.
Did you say Isn't She Lovely?
Isn't She Lovely? Of course.
He did say that.
I did say My Cherie Amour though.
My Cherie Amour.
No, you know what? He doesn't say something about a fraud. Right?
Okay.
The only songs he mentioned
Have the
were
title.
songs that Eddie Murphy sang in his
Oh.
comedy. You are a fraud.
Tobin is Stevie Wonder bread, according to Schmidt. Not wrong. Let's get to a training camp update brought to you by Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges. Enroll today in one of our over 60 Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges affordable training programs and get fast-tracked to a financially rewarding career in 1 to 2 years. Convenient day and evening classes give you the flexibility you need while you learn. Go to careerinayear.com and get there. Dade South mad because he also made the Wonder Bread joke, but saw that Schmeathan beat him to the punch. Two heavyweights going at it.
Heavyweights.
Two heavyweight trolls going at it.
Sir
All right.
Duke. Oh, that's a good one. Sir Duke.
Sir Duke.
Dun.
When Duke Johnson would have a good game, I would play that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was good producing back in the day.
Hey, here's we finally found somebody that don't have him sounding like
Like Creed.
Yeah, like Creed. Yeah.
You
you can't sing. You can't sing Stevie Wonder like you can sing all the other ones.
Wow. It's Vic Fangio's birthday.
Whoa!
Bangs up.
Tobin is Sir Duke's mayonnaise.
I hate mayonnaise.
Really?
Wow. I hate mayonnaise.
What?
I just don't like it.
What a twist.
I don't like it. Yeah, I know. A stunning move, I know, but I do not like mayonnaise.
This seems like you would lather everything up in mayo.
Ew.
Nope.
Why you
Did you know that Mike McDaniel had things to say about Vic Fangio reaching the age of 65 yesterday? Do you think that he took this seriously?
No, of course not.
This is Mike McDaniel reacting to Vic Fangio's birthday.
I think a 65th birthday. I'm excited. I hope that I will have one, because you know I'm not sure for all you history buffs, but you know, Social Security starts at 65, right? Well, that was enacted in the New Deal, I believe, when that was the life expectancy for human beings. So, hey, man, killing it. I'm fired up for him.
killing it?
I mean, wait a minute. You can't wait. Mike, you my guy. But you can't say the average lifespan was to 65 and then say he's killing it. No, I mean,
Fired up for
he's
him.
he's living it,
Yeah,
right?
true.
He can't be killing it. Oh man.
He just goes up to Vic Fangio and he goes, "Hey, happy Social Security Day."
I mean, I think we should send him a gift card to Cracker Barrel.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I love Cracker.
Go.
You say it.
Hey, come on.
The old love Cracker
The
Barrel.
old love Cracker Barrel.
He also went on to say that there are a lot of similarities between him and Vic Fangio. Here's more McCochin.
Vic has been absolutely phenomenal for the players, coaches, the organization. It kind of fits exactly with what I saw from the beginning. I saw a lot of synergy in him and I. Ironically, I think a lot of people were like, "Huh?" when I say that, but
We go home when you say anything, Mike.
The way that our fundamental philosophies of how to teach accountability towards the player, and then the requisite accountability necessary from players to what we're asking them to do, the commitment to absolutely the best fundamentals and technique that you can that you yourself can really come up with over a lifetime of football.
Wow.
He's delivered on that tenfold.
How about that? I don't believe they're similar.
Why'd you cut him off?
Because
he wasn't going to stop.
We have more. This is all one answer on Vic Fangio.
So
Vic Fangio apparently today said to reporters, quote, 65 years young and can still outwork these young coaches. Okay. The old love outworking the young.
It's what they live for.
It is true.
That's why they wake up so early. I don't believe they're very similar at all. I believe he's kind enough to say these things, and maybe they have similar coaching styles, but I think Fangs is possibly a little bit annoyed every time McDaniel walks up to him. Like, Fangs, what you got in the lunchbox today, huh? And then
you have Fangs bringing a lunchbox?
The old dude
oh,
with a
yeah.
lunchbox.
Oh, you know he has a lunchbox.
You think he has a thermos?
They don't have lunchboxes.
No coffee in there,
have
though.
Paper
Tomato
bags.
soup?
Chili.
Chili?
Yeah.
Dude.
Fangs loves chili.
With little crackers.
By the way, I saw in the comment that apparently Omar Kelly was taken back by you calling him Fangs.
He didn't know that he was called Fangs. Yeah, we
Mm.
were doing Game Day Uncensored, and I was like, yeah. And I'm like, I said Christian Wilkins. I said, he's the only guy Fangs likes. He goes, Fangs? I was like, yeah, Vic Fangio. He goes, they call him Fangs? I'm like, you don't know that they call him Fangs?
Okay.
So
Fangs up.
I learned.
That's because he's paying attention to that offensive line work.
I learned Omar Kelly something. I didn't think I could teach him anything Dolphins, but I learned you can call him Fangs. I said, hey, when you see him next week, I say, hey, what up, Fangs?
I'm interested to see how that interaction goes.
I think it's gonna go.
He speaks today, right?
He's taught. Yeah, he apparently talked an hour ago.
Oh,
he said on Christian Wilkins sitting out team drills from David Furonis' Twitter account, quote, I feel good that whenever that's resolved, he'll be ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
if it is resolved.
He earned it. He earned it. Has he not earned a new contract?
Yep.
Okay.
100 tackles from the D tackle position. You earned it.
Yeah, and then they're gonna if here, can I just say this? And this is one of the weirdest things about sacks. Okay. Christian Wilkins had 3.5 sacks, but he had 16 tackles for loss. Let me ask you a difference. Let me ask you.
Yes.
What's the difference? They're all tackles for loss.
It's a good point.
So to sit here and say, no, but you didn't tackle this
How
guy.
many tackles for
Tackled
loss do you have?
16.
Oh, wow.
So to sit here and say that he doesn't have the sack numbers while being a menace to the whole offense is a joke. And if anybody in that organization were to say that, to try to pay him less, they don't know football. I'm going to just tell you that right now.
Omar also tweeted out.
Because a sack is only a tackle for loss, but you tackle the quarterback.
Omar tweeted out from Vic Fangio on Christian Wilkins holding, quote, Christian is an administrative deal that I think will get resolved. All right. There you go.
Well, you're always going to say that.
Well,
because you don't want to say nothing to get him to leave.
True.
No, but if he said, I don't know, I'm going to stay out of it, I'd feel less confident it was going to be resolved.
Who said?
No, he said
Fangio.
Yeah.
If he was like, I don't know, I stay out of that.
I mean, he doesn't really know what's going on.
According to Joe Shad, Vic Fangio says he has a dry sense of humor, but he likes to have fun in meetings. That's his favorite time of day. The old love a meeting.
What?
No, the old don't.
What?
I despise meetings. I think they're the biggest. Listen, if
Vic Fangio's age range?
if I'm considered getting up there, right? The last thing I want to do is sit in a room with a whole bunch of other people while one person talks. That's the last thing I need in my life, especially when you don't really need to have that meeting anyway.
Yeah, I think Leroy's right about this. I feel like the old will fall asleep in meetings.
I think the old hate unnecessary meetings.
Yes.
Maybe
But
the old
unnecessary
like
meetings?
Yes.
He's the one leading the
He
meeting.
leads the meeting.
Unnecessary meetings.
Doesn't everybody?
And every business has a bunch of unnecessary meetings.
Unnecessary emails.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
And listen,
Okay.
you know what? Can we give my oh no right now?
No. That was yesterday's
Also,
game.
yeah.
I want to do it anyway.
All right. Go ahead.
Why every time somebody sends an email of something good, then all the celebratory emails, I don't want email that person.
Oh no.
The old mass email ask us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Let's hear one more before we get to damages done coming up in just a few minutes here. Can we hear Mike McDaniel on his and Vic Fangio's music tastes?
You know, we have quite different musical tastes. So
I'm
you know,
sure
sometimes I incorporate some of his music into, you know, team meeting situations.
Oh, that's nice.
And I promise you, the players know exactly whose musical tastes those are when they're being played. But I think that's important, you know, to have some, you know, it just kind of speaks to the broader scope of and vision of what this organization can be, which is there's cut from many different cloths. There's one sole commitment, that's to winning football games and really empowering players with the best tools that they could have. So I think that embodies that, and you know, pretty much if it isn't already obvious,
no, it's
Fangio
not
and myself
obvious.
were the same guy.
I'm still trying to. What's obvious? I forgot what he was talking about.
What was the question?
It was about music.
First of all, no. It wasn't about music. It was all just how's things going with Vic Fangio, and he went on for 4 minutes.
Whoa.
Wasn't it musical taste?
No,
This part of the answer.
Yes, you're correct. That's what the cut was about.
Yeah.
The question wasn't,
wow,
what are your music tastes? The question is just bridging off of how's things with you and Vic Fangio.
Okay.
He just went on for 3 minutes.
Social Security.
And he also wants you to know that because they listen to different music, it's a sign of how many players on this team are from different fabrics of life.
I'm more than sure Vic Fangio doesn't have any idea who Mike Jones is.
Oh,
that's right. There you go. Mike Jones.
Dade South says the more you talk, the less questions you have to answer. You would think that was the case, Dade South, but they're going to get their questions in.
Dude, I'm telling you how I don't know how many times we've sat here and listened to a Mike McDaniel cut and forgot what the question was when he was done.
Dade South also says the old love Springsteen. Oh, I bet you that
do.
Vic Fangio loves him some Springsteen.
Yeah.
Him and Pat Riley probably going to a Springsteen concert together. Pat loves the boss.
It's like a rite of passage.
Right.
A little bit in the evening.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Damage is done, my friend, is next.
WQA.
bam, hits the car behind her, right? She gets out, looks, going to get in her car. She's about to take off, right? Then the people just came around and pulled around the car. No, ma'am.
Oh, man.
We waiting this one out with you.
Oh,
At least till the person who owns this car come out. So she tried to make a run for it, but the damage was done. She already dented up the
She
car.
tried to make a run.
Yeah.
For it.
Act like she didn't speak no English. She was like looking around going, I'm like, oh, no. Bang, bang.
I've kind of done that before.
Really?
Yeah, we know. You have a long list of
crazy things. They called me though. They're
They
like,
found
"Sir,"
you?
They called my cell phone.
Wow.
Said, "Sir,
nice try.
Come back." I said,
Wait.
I'm on my way.
How did they?
Bro, and this is, look, to this
He
day,
actually said that once.
Yeah,
to
that was
this day, I blame some kid that was there who was just looking at me. We locked eyes as
Some
I hit
rat.
it. He was
How
a
did
rat.
How did he
dude.
get your cell phone number
This
out
is
of
the
locking
thing.
eyes?
This is my opinion. He's like, I know that guy, saw the kerfuffle happening, and then was like, Facebook, got my number from Facebook because he's a rat.
Damn.
Wait,
Yeah.
your number's on Facebook?
Why
Nah,
would
this
you
is
do that?
2012. You know, crazy things happened back then.
Yeah, you used to put all your information on the internet.
Yeah, man. Why would the internet hurt me?
Well, at least you weren't an idiot and gave out your number on the air one time. I'll still get Merry Christmas texts.
Well, at least you're
That
nice.
was funny. That was hilarious. I'm
Just
like,
in the
hey,
midst of a doctor story. I was
I'm
just like, I got caught up in the air.
I said, hey man, you sure? Oh, dumb. It's like,
Or when Robbie flashed, I believe it was his license.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had to take down the stream.
Gave me the hardest of times.
J-Fig, what do you have for damage today?
So once again, life is here trying to just take away all my happiness.
oh,
There is a new flesh-eating bacteria that is
Oh,
found
no,
in
where?
raw shellfish and
Oh.
seafood. I mean, not
Uh-oh.
seafood.
What?
Seawater. My
Nah.
bad.
oh, then I'm good.
Can't
You
trust that
like
shellfish, dude.
You like shellfish.
You
I
love
don't like
oysters.
seawater.
So wait, can it get on the oysters and then like carry with it?
Oh,
Yes.
look at that.
I
You-
get my
you
oysters
love-
from Louisiana.
You love an oyster.
I don't get them from the ocean.
Well, this
Isn't
can
they
lead
have,
to
like-
infections that can cause
Are you-
skin breakdown and ulcers.
Are you like distinguishing the Gulf and the ocean? Like, are they that
Is
different?
that different?
No, inland.
Oh, they have inland oysters?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't trust those.
like
There's still
crawfish.
things found
inland.
inland too.
Yeah,
Yes.
flesh eating.
I don't like
Leroy.
oysters. I don't really like oysters.
I like oysters,
Very
Bienville, oysters Rockefeller, where they bake them and put cheese and spinach and stuff on top of them.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay, but like shrimp and shellfish too.
but
This-
don't if you cook them,
Look
I'm
at
gonna just
that.
cook the bacteria right out of them.
You never have raw
What if you
oysters?
No,
No?
baked.
Oh, okay.
Baked.
Well,
Yeah,
aphrodisiac, I
that's
didn't
what
know.
oyster Bienville and oyster Rockefeller is.
What about your lobster mac and cheese?
Oh, look at that.
Huh?
Look at
lobster
that.
mac and
Cooked.
cheese.
Lobster mac.
I've never heard of
Doesn't
oyster.
fire
do it.
kill a lot of?
No, not flesh eating, dude. It's a
It's
zombie.
flesh eating.
What if this is something that came back and this is
Hey,
this is what took out
Apparently,
oyster?
there's 5 deaths already in Florida.
Why?
Five.
Why?
5 deaths?
5.
Deaths.
You sure it wasn't just leprosy?
Well,
Leprosy.
I don't think that's.
What? Where do you think you get leprosy from?
No
I
one
think it's
has
making a
that
comeback.
anymore. Do you? Do you? Gotta look this up. Jeez.
Dude, that's frightening.
I feel like that's expired.
But then they, like in the old days, they used to put them on the island.
Oh no! Why did it say leprosy in Florida? Oh no!
If anybody's gonna get leprosy again, it's gonna be Florida. For sure.
For sure.
Marcos, do you have the clip now?
I do indeed.
All right. So for my damage is done, I'm gonna bring up an old friend. And
Paul Pierce?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Right up there with him though.
Oh.
We hate this guy.
Chris Sims.
He
We don't say that
no,
word.
no, but I believe he's kind of trying to venture into this territory too, but I haven't done a full review.
Wow.
I haven't done a full review.
Our list
I-
is getting longer.
We know who the rat bastards are, okay? And if you
Yeah.
don't know the rat bastards are Colin Cowherd,
Yeah.
Chris Sims,
Yeah.
Don't I have a
Mike
picture of
Tannenbaum.
this?
Oh, Tannenbaum.
Are these some of them as well? Or
No.
Okay.
This is all related
Oh.
to our quarterback, J-Fig, Tua
got it.
Tagovailoa.
Got it. Okay, you're right.
So Colin Cowherd, Chris Sims, Mike Tannenbaum, and Mike Greenberg, host of Jet Up.
Yep.
And I heard this weasel the other day. Weasel Listen to what this guy's trying to do, Leroy. Listen to what he's
What
trying
guy?
to do. Mike Greenberg, a host of Jet Up.
Okay.
All right.
If Tua Tagovailoa is healthy for the majority of the season and standing upright when the season comes, the regular season ends and we go into the playoffs, they're as good as anybody, and literally anybody, including Kansas City and anybody else in the AFC. Talent-wise, man for man, I think they're as good as any team in the NFL.
No.
Wait a minute.
What?
What was wrong with that?
Because who's saying it? You don't get to weasel your way back in now, Mike Greenberg. The damage is done, my friend. You don't get to come out here now all of a sudden and be like, oh, but they're the most talented team right up there with Kansas City. It's like, no.
Every day.
No.
But you do this every day.
Weasel, you snake. You're trying to get
But he
yourself.
doesn't have his powers.
Because here's what the thing is. Here's the thing. He tries to build up his take. So now he can't be wrong. Where it's like, oh, all of a sudden, I'll say that if he's healthy, they're the most talented team. But if they're not, I'm going to blame it all on Tua. All on Tua. Nice try, Greeny. The damage is done.
Damage is done,
I'm
my
going to
friend.
let you all of a sudden say, oh, but they're the most talented team outside of the Chiefs. No, you don't get to have that take, Greenberg.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't get to have that take. If Louis Riddick wants to have that take, cool. Orlovsky, cool. But you? How dare you? How dare you, and shame on you, Greeny. Wow.
Damage is done.
You do that every day.
No, I don't. You what? What do I do that's like that? Greenberg.
You just tried to trade Xavier Howard.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't try and trade him. I said we could cut him for cap space in the offseason.
Oh, no.
Try and keep up.
Even worse.
That's even worse.
Is it?
You just cutting bait on your number one corner.
Time has come, dude. They're 32 for a cornerback.
Number one corner.
Well, I am assuming Jalen Ramsey comes back, and then we got Cam Smith's going to be on the up and up,
Why do we do the 1 year Jalen Ramsey rental? No.
Okay,
affiliation.
fine. Maybe you want to get rid of Jalen Ramsey, get rid of Jalen Ramsey. I'm not going to quibble over this.
All right.
Get rid of one of them old timers, and we got Cam Smith and Kader Co. Who they take over.
Jesus.
I've already solved this, dude.
Don't forget Noah. He's never gonna leave.
He might. He might not leave under his own power, but he might be pushed out.
Feels like Noah's week one hype has kind of died down, huh?
No, here's the problem. And it's a very valid point. He's a good zone player, but he's terrible at man-to-man. And it happens. Like I know a few DBs that are like that. I mean, the most famous one is Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yeah.
Remember he played zone and was it with the Raiders?
He got paid.
And he got paid to go to the Eagles, and they wanted to be in the lockdown corner, and he couldn't. He wasn't that guy.
Marcos, what's your damages done today, buddy?
My damage is done goes to Klay Thompson.
Why?
He is such an annoying, cocky, not humble player that he's leaked some of that onto Steph Curry.
What do you mean?
Steph Curry recently was quoted as saying, well, I'll let you hear his quote. He was asked who's the best point guard of all time, and if he was the best point guard of all time, that's what he had to say.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes. I have to, yes. It's me and Magic. That's the conversation.
Yeah. We can look at stats all day, right? We can look at stats and try to judge. I wasn't around with Magic. I know, right? So I know there's not a lot of 6'9" point guard. No one's trying. I'm thinking about the 90s growing up. There was nobody trying to be a 6'9" point guard, right? I mean, it just. But I can witness and watch every kid trying to be Curry.
Yeah, I mean, Steph Curry is almost better than being the best point guard of all time. The dude changed the game.
Right.
He literally just changed the game.
Right.
Everybody plays different.
Now everybody wants to learn how to dribble and shoot.
Everybody wants to be Steph Curry. Like it's almost a better honor than being the best point, because they're like, you want to talk about, yes, they both play point guard. Could you play the position any differently? You know,
both of those
Magic up and down, ultimate facilitator, could do it all. Could, replace Kareem in a finals if he got hurt.
That was by far one of the best things about Magic, is that when they say a guy could guard 4 positions, what about a guy that could play 4 positions?
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, fine. But it's kind of, I'm glad he at least mentioned it, because it's me or Magic, and I think he's right. But man, could you get like more opposite on that?
How? But then the one thing I hate about arguments like this is it's sometimes hard to compare different types of players, even though you play the same position. Right?
It's almost like it's like pound for pound boxers almost.
Right. But here's the deal. It's hard to compare Barry Sanders and Jim Brown. They were so different and they did it so differently that how do you compare the two when they don't have the same skill set? That's where Magic didn't have the handles that Steph Curry has. Magic didn't have to run around the court continuously for a whole basketball game like Steph Curry does.
The only thing you could say that's like really different, the thing that you could say is like really amazing about Steph really is like a kind of a Cinderella story. Like went to Davidson, passed up a lot in that draft by teams that needed point guards.
Got hurt. His first ankles
was on the cheap skis. Magic
his first extension was 4 years, $40 million.
Magic was like that dude immediately.
Right.
You know, like they were fawning over Magic immediately.
Can we consider him the best point guard though? If I don't even know if he'd make someone starting 5.
What do you mean, like in all time?
Yeah, I don't think Steph Curry makes.
Because you think like everybody's going to pick Magic?
Magic or someone who's maybe like a little bit more defensive oriented.
I feel like if I was legitimately making a fantasy team though, like why wouldn't I have all these great players and have him? Because he'd be the best off-ball guy ever.
Yeah, he'd be a great 6 man, which is why I'm like
6 man.
But would you? But here's the thing.
6 man.
Here's the thing that based on how they play, right? If you had Magic and Steph on the same team, Steph would be the 2.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
But
now
going over my
now you're talking about Jordan and Kobe.
And I would still take, but like he could fit with any of them.
No, but you understand what I'm saying?
Off the bench,
is to not have a spot for Steph Curry seems unfair.
You know what? Here's why. But here's what I would do. Here's what I would do though. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I would put LeBron at the 3, and I don't need Magic Johnson. Sorry. Because I got Steph, Michael, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Shaq.
Wow.
Wait, so
wow.
Wait.
Whoa.
This might be a first. Because I know as long as I've known you, you would fight put LeBron in that starting 5.
No, I wouldn't. I actually think it's crazy that he's not like I see so many top 5 comes out that don't have LeBron. I think it's kind of crazy and a little bit of a slap in the face, to be honest with you.
I think they just do it because they're tied to LeBron. He's been around too long.
Can I say something?
What?
I've never said he's a bad basketball player. I've never said that.
Okay.
Rat Fink.
Okay.
Great basketball player.
I mean, but if you call somebody a rat fink, you can't just follow it up with great basketball player. Too late. Damage is done. You want to talk about damage is done? Once you say rat fink.
That's not true because when Tommy calls him a rank fink,
He also seems like
he
a really
also loves him.
He seems like a pretty decent dude. I mean, he's done a lot for the community and all that, but just basketball wise, rat fink.
Because he didn't stay with your team. That's right. Okay.
Also, revision. I kicked Michael off for D-Wade.
Yeah.
My top 5.
You get it away from the point though. Klay Thompson is clearly influencing.
You
this
think
guy.
that this is Klay Thompson stroking ego too much?
His arrogance has gone to
Well,
Steph Curry.
Speaking of arrogance and damage is done, James Harden has been fined by the NBA.
Whoa!
We'll get to that next.
You rat thing.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy. Hey, you want to get your hair cut by the Miami Hurricanes and Miami Dolphins barber? Well, we've got your chance to freshen up your look with Steven Rivera, the barber to the athletes. Enter now at WQAM.com/contests. And
Shave your face.
I already did today, man. Let's see. It's already grown back. Crazy.
Why do you got to go Irish? Like,
let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
we know trucks.
Are the rumors true? Is Chicken Lips Tobin back on the Twitch chat? We have not. He's an OG.
Yep.
I thought he was just talking about you.
Oh man, I thought Chicken Lips. I thought like the handle was back of Chicken Lips Tobin.
No, I don't see it right now, unfortunately.
All right. Well,
I thought it was just
Somebody
you.
said, dang, Adam Silver just robbed a hard-working stripper of a nice payday.
Look at that.
yeah, our top headline: James Harden.
Never win a championship.
He has been fined $100,000 for his recent comments
Oh,
calling
Foxball
Daryl Morey
money.
a liar.
Guess what? Now he's only going to make $34,900,000.
Adrian Wojnarowski writes, for the league's purposes on the fine, Harden's comments that he would never be part of an organization that included Morey played a bigger part in the fine, sources said. It touched on the league's rules concerning public trade demands. So there you go.
No,
James Harden loses $100K.
this guy's terrible at math.
What?
100K is 2.5 game checks. Are you kidding me? That's only 8 million. He's making 35 million. It's way more than that.
Crazy.
100 grand is like a quarter.
I'm pretty sure he has $100,000 in his couch cushion, probably for a stripper that's coming over to the house. So he'll be, I mean, like, you're going to be all right, but like, should he be fined? I don't know.
What if the guy actually lied to him?
I think the thing that's crazy about it is like, I want to do this. Has James Harden ever been fined for trade demands before?
Nope.
Because I don't know. Well,
I
don't
guess
know.
somebody probably said something.
Do we
with
know
the-
that's Nope? I don't know if it's Nope. Let me see.
Has anyone been fined? I don't necessarily remember that happening ever.
People have been fined.
This is Dame's fault. Because now saying something like that is going to warrant attention. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah, Anthony Davis was fined $50,000 in 2019.
I feel like somebody random, like Eric Gordon, got fined for it. Oh no, Eric Bledsoe, I think, got fined for for tweeting out "Get me out of here." One time.
Look at that. Dwayne Dedman was fined at one point in 2020.
For what?
He wanted
For
out of
throwing he threw the damn.
No, not for that. Not for that. Not for that.
This is he wanted out of the Kings.
James Harden. Last fine I can find for him is violating the NBA coronavirus policies. Definitely went to a strip
He went
club.
to a strip
Definitely
club.
went to a strip club.
It's the same thing with Lemon Pepper Lou. Remember, he couldn't play in a playoff game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was him, and then one guy got kicked out of the bubble for bumping uglies with a nurse.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna do? So yeah, James Harden gets fined. I don't disagree with you though. There is definitely, it feels like the league is trying to step up on this trade demand thing, which does make you wonder. Like, I know there was like a rumor thrown out there that Adam Silver would veto a Damian Lillard trade to the Heat. I don't know if he's gonna do that, but I definitely feel like the owners are whining about it more. Like, which is kind of a hard thing because we've had this slippery slope where we're so used to guys being able to go where they want whenever they want. I just think the thing that's crazy about it is we're drawing the line in the sand for Damian Lillard. Like, why is Damian Lillard the nicest guy of them all? Why is he like James Harden? Okay. It's hard for me to feel bad for James Harden. James Harden gets, his way all the time. It's not a great look for him to call the president of basketball operations a liar publicly, unless Daryl Morey is in fact a liar. Which, if you were to tell me that highfalutin Daryl Morey, does he tell the truth all the time publicly? I would say no. I mean, he said that James Harden was a better scorer than Michael Jordan. So, he obviously has lied before. But, for me, James Harden, you're the one ruining the Damian Lillard trade, dude. It's your fault.
Wow.
He's to blame? He's to blame. You got in where you wanted to go 3 times. If it would have been one time, then maybe we could have just let Damian Lillard go where he wants to go. But this selfish James Harden keeps wanting to move teams and go to different places. And now Damian Lillard's not allowed to demand a trade with 4 years left on his deal.
Damn.
Ridiculous, dude.
All right.
Ridiculous.
Maybe it is his fault then. Does Bradley Beal get any blame?
he just gets blamed for being a flirt. And,
Okay, all
the time I want to go. We knew what he was doing the whole time. I tell you who's doing it right now. You know who's doing it right now? Pascal Siakam.
Oh,
he's no dummy. Siakam's trying to stay on the Toronto Raptors because he wants that bag max deal because it's the team that drafted him, and then he's going to force his way out. I see you, Siakam. Nobody wants to stay in Canada.
Damn. And this is all stemming from James Harden doing this 3 times, is what you're saying.
Yeah, dude. James Harden is a domino, dude. The first one to cause the rest to fall down.
Wow.
You ever hear of a domino effect, Leroy? Well, James Harden just likes a domino effect when it's a pizza.
Fat suit incoming.
Fat bum!
What's wrong with you, man?
Fat bum!
What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm actually kind of glad he got fined.
Really?
Yeah, again, it doesn't really affect him financially. And there's no way he can keep getting away with this, dude.
Sure he can.
Apparently, he will, actually. But, yeah, we got you for $100K. That's how the NBA feels. Which, again, for him, dropping the bucket.
Wild thing, man. Meanwhile, some NBA news, some NFL news, rather. The Bucks.
Ooh.
They have an announcement. Do you have this tweet, J-Fig? From the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This is hilarious.
They tweeted out, time to bake.
Time to
And it really looks like
bake.
he's going to light a big one.
And
A fatty.
Oh.
Look,
Baker-
even the background looks like they're going smoke.
Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
QB number 1.
QB1
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. He is back. Back starting QB.
How does he keep doing this?
I don't know. I mean, he was the number 1 overall pick, dude.
Does that always like grant you a shot at the job?
It's yeah. I think he's gonna, he's gonna always get a shot for sure,
Man.
And then maybe it's it's like one of those things where like he'll get them to where they want to go, which is get Caleb Williams from UFC next year. So maybe that's what they're hoping for. You think Baker Mayfield's gonna work out, Leroy? No. Why not?
I mean, look. He's erratic. He'll have that 1 or 2 throws that you go, wow, we can make this work. And then he'll do the other bonehead stuff that you're like, no, we can't. That's how it works.
I mean, what a competition there was there. Kyle Trask and him. I mean,
Yeah.
Of course he will.
You better win, Baker Mayfield. Otherwise, you should just head to the XFL.
Oh, that'd be good, though. I think a lot more players should head to the XFL.
Why?
Because that would bring me to watch the XFL. There's no other reason. Players that I know, like Gardner Minshew in the XFL, stud. In the NFL,
You're not watching the
annoying.
XFL for Gardner Minshew.
Come on, maybe he'll do some crazy things. He'll show up in some jorts.
Is he going to show up naked and do band exercises?
He better, or else I'm not watching that garbage. I don't care about his football. I want the antics and the big names.
Can I just say something?
What?
Like, it's still going to be garbage.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. And names that I
There you go.
recognize.
See, he gets that from you.
No, it's XFL. No one wants good football from
What
the
if Jonathan
XFL?
Taylor goes to the XFL? Runs for 4,000 yards.
Then he's like Messi going to the MLS. He's gonna have a great season.
I'm still bitter at The Rock for not getting us an XFL team.
Right?
It's the
least he can do.
How can he not have a in his hometown?
Right.
Jadavian Clowney in the XFL.
Oh,
come on.
man, but he's playing running back.
Oh, look at this. Now we're thinking, what number is he wearing? Number X. No number. It's a letter.
Like Goldberg in the longest yard?
Exactly. Matter of fact, it's Goldberg available.
Oh, man. I would like the XFL if they did have 1 pro wrestler per team.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be good. Big Show would be a lot of offensive linemen.
Big Show as a left tackle.
Yeah. Lock down that side.
Take a quick
He'd
break.
be a right guard. Left tackles have to have good feet.
He's a monster. Ooh. Big. Could you be too big on the line? Like, let me ask you this, Leroy. It's a giant. Let's say you're the size of Bryant McKinney. Could that ever work as a center? Or does that just throw off the line too much?
How big you see? Here's what you.
That's a good question.
How big you are doesn't determine what position you play. It's your skill set. So periodically you have bigger guys playing certain positions because of their abilities and their agility or whatever. That's why, before we never used to see a tall receiver. Now you go back around and there's a lot of tall receivers. Used to have tight ends we certainly built a certain way, 6'3", 6'4", not tall and lanky. It changes. It changes according to your skill set. Like quarterbacks were never 6'5", 250. That was a tight end. Now you got quarterbacks that are behemoths.
Yeah, that Anthony Richardson's a moose.
Mhm.
Moose.
Fast too.
Take a quick break. Back up to this.
minutes of game day uncensored.
Let's go! Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers. Experienced amazing.
Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Miami Dolphins back at it today as they are getting ready for their third and final preseason game this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it is believed that Jacksonville is going to play their starters a lot, according to Doug Peterson. And we're moving into territory of will we see how much of the Dolphins will we'll see? Because I just wanted my whistle my whistle wet. What?
Your whistle wet?
Excuse me?
All right.
Did we start yet?
Russell Wilson?
Yeah. Did we start the segment?
You want your Russell Wilson?
Play that open there again, Marcos.
You want me to start again? Sure.
Nah, just I'm very scared.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I just want my my whistle wet this past week, but now I'm gonna need to quench it a little bit. All right, you need to. Mike McDaniel's gonna need to bring me a whole Stanley Cup full of football this weekend. So I expect at least a half out of Tua.
Yeah, not to be confused with the hockey Stanley Cup. This one's just as coveted.
Yes,
but
maybe by more. Maybe more. I don't know what's more. What is more beloved right now? It depends. If you're Matthew Tkachuk, the actual Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
If you're a lady who watches TikTok,
yep,
the Tumblr.
So strange that that's happening.
It's a wonder. It's a wonder, but that's where the Tobin ladies are all at right now. Both of them.
Yeah.
I'm even getting blackmailed by my 11-year-old. Get me one.
You're actually getting bullied. Now that I've reviewed all the evidence, you're being bullied by your daughter.
I know.
Which
I
is
know.
fair. I've seen her. She's
nonstop. She suckers me no matter what. Anyway, Dolphins taking on the Jaguars this week. And the Dolphins apparently also looking into, according to Barry Jackson, exploring the idea of trading for Jonathan Taylor, which gives me the Goosies.
Yes.
And Leroy hates me for it. Goosies. Hates everything about it because he hates stars.
From a football, no.
backs.
It has nothing to do with that.
Didn't like Dalvin.
But here's the deal. From a financial and a production standpoint, the two don't make sense. Like what you would have to pay versus how much you would actually get above what you have doesn't make it very affordable or cost efficient. That's the point I'm getting at. You don't care. Jonathan Taylor. I want him. That's you.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't think about see whether he makes any sense.
This one makes more sense than the Dalvin Cook.
No, of course it does, because you're dealing with this one. I'm falling for your tricks. Stop it.
What do you mean? I'm not trying to pull any tricks. This is how I feel.
This could have been Hamburglar. You would have said Hamburglar fits more than Dalvin Cook because we can get him.
No, I just think, but it would be a nice stick it to the Jets. The Jets get Dalvin Cook. They think they got one up on us and be like, oh, yeah.
Why do they have
Watch
one up? You think their running game is going to be better than the
I don't know. Well, they got good running backs. I mean, they got Breece Hall. They got
you.
Dalvin Cook.
Wait. Right now, you're telling me you think because the Jets have Dalvin Cook that their running game is going to be better than this one?
I don't know.
I'm willing to bet it won't be.
Why are you not talking to the microphone?
What are we betting?
Whatever you want.
Oh,
I'm not going to bet
whatever
that.
you want.
But I'm not going to bet
tattoos.
that.
Whatever you want.
I'm not going to bet that.
Why?
Because the Dolphins are better.
Matching tattoos.
Right. Then why do you care about these other teams getting these other players?
Because they have a hippie quarterback, though. I have Tua.
Oh, that's true.
What does that have to do with the running game? Why? What do you?
They're going to be trailing in games.
You know what you are? You're a radio Mike McDaniel.
It's not true.
You're talking. We sitting for having a conversation about running backs,
No,
and your response is they got a hippie quarterback.
They got a hippie quarterback.
We're talking about the running game.
I know, but it all trickles down. If I have a true quarterback, I know that the run game is going to benefit from that. With Aaron Rodgers, who knows if he wants to find his soul in the running game?
At this point, is it fair to say?
But most people would.
Is it fair to say Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tua right now?
No, it's not fair to say that.
Why not?
Because he's old and washed, broken hand. Wow. And by the way, I would tell you that while most people on paper would take Aaron Rodgers over Tua, most people, and in fact, I would say most people, every person would take the Jets running backs, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook over Mostert and Wilson.
But who's going to have the most
I don't
success?
know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you think the names is what wins you football
Well,
games?
but here's the thing. If you put them in the system, you don't think that they would have amazing numbers?
But no, I'm not saying that. You're missing. Why am I talking to a wall? The point is, for what you would have to pay, it's not worth what you would get above what you
Forget
have.
pay. We're talking about a hypothetical
No, it's about
scenario.
pay. That matters.
This is why, dude, you're like Peter Pan, and it's tough because you won't grow up. I'm trying to have a grown-up hypothetical conversation here.
Grow up, Peter Pan. What the hell is a grown? Wait, does anybody not understand what just happened here? I'm trying to have a grown-up hypothetical situation, which is the farthest thing away from a grown-up conversation you could have, and he just snuck it by you two guys. It's not getting by me.
I honestly, like, I just want to review, Your Honor.
No, you don't review nothing. You just said.
I think he deserves a -1 for lashing out. He's lashing out.
Hey,
I think you're right.
wait.
I think you're actually right.
I
You
don't think
guys
so.
introduced
I
me.
don't think
When's the
so.
last time you've
There's
been to
no
a
nice one
hypothetical
here.
adult conversation? We're having a hypothetical adult conversation. That's ridiculous in itself. Okay. How adult can you be if you're talking in La La
I mean,
Land?
we would have been already done with it if the grown-up would have wanted to have a grown-up hypothetical conversation. Would have been over.
Grow up,
already.
Peter Pan.
Instead, you want to sit here
Really?
lashing out that I even want to have a hypothetical.
You're the worst. The worst.
But
That's
hypothetical,
not Mike McDaniel's way.
like, let's just say though, if
Hold on.
Gotta take a swig.
I was getting hoarse. Yeah, you better freshen up too.
Okay.
Okay, Marcos, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm good. I got nothing.
Where's your apple
here.
juice?
He's a frog that drinks apple juice. That's a whole nother story.
you guys want a great quote from Vic Fangio,
Oh yeah.
this is from David Ferronis' Twitter account. Vic Fangio, the practice field is the quiz. The game is the final exam. Wow. Goosies. That's Goosies right there, dude.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
Stop.
The practice field.
Is the quiz.
Wow.
But the game is the final exam.
And you know what they say?
So we understand the answers to our test.
Exactly, dude.
Synergy.
Do you have a study guide or not?
Mm-hmm.
Because what would Socrates say to that?
What would he say to that?
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Wait, I would say Socrates doesn't have hypothetical grown-up conversations.
That's all he had. He was a philosopher.
That's actually.
What would Socrates say to that?
You're boxed in, dude.
Hi.
You've been boxed in.
Good job.
Amazon Prime.
What can I just say?
I think he's done now.
I think he has. I think he's officially tapped out. I don't think he has anything left today. I think he is done with me. Why is Dan South hitting me with a loose goose floozy alert?
Wow. Well, I feel like this is the adequate amount of goosies you should have for potentially getting a top 3 running back.
Who doesn't want stars? I don't understand this. What do we care about? That's Stephen Ross's money. He'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out.
Figure it out,
Dude,
dude.
he's almost on the way out.
Everybody's like, oh, this guy's this and this guy's that. What am I worried about next year for? What am I worried? Coming into last year, we thought Emmanuel Ogbah was the best defender on the Dolphins. You want to know where he is now?
Yeah.
On the outside looking in, dude.
Wow.
On the outside, peeping in. Okay? Every once in a while, a great opportunity drops in your lap. One year it's Tyreek Hill. Now, boom, Jonathan Taylor. And you have this dumb owner who tried to fly a whale across the country.
Oh, yeah.
Suspiciously, the whale's now dead. And on top of that,
Still not over that.
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So you have this. He's talking about when years go by and I'm dead and Jonathan Taylor's dead, the NFL goes on. So that's what we're dealing with here. This guy's not very bright. He thought he could move a whale across the country.
Look at that.
Got high as a kite watching Free Willy. We could fleece these Colts. Because what does that even make? Explain this to me, Leroy. Can you just answer my question here? How is it you don't feel fit to pay Jonathan Taylor oodles of money, but you want a haul of picks for him? Get out of here. Doesn't even make sense. How can you not value him, but I'm supposed to give you picks that you find valuable? Riddle me that, Batman. Ursay's out here. Oh, I'm going to go transport whales. Well, you want to know what Chris Grier does? He sharpens his harpoons and he reels whales in, dude. That's what he does. Because the rumor is the quiz, but the trade talks are the final exam.
Wow. Steve.
Are you going to talk to me the rest of the
Guy's
show, or are
preaching.
you done with me?
This guy is preaching.
That a boy.
What?
You're next.
Whoa!
Loose goose floozy.
There we go.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you want to get your haircut by the Miami Hurricanes and Miami Dolphins barber? Well, we've got your chance for you to freshen up your look with Steven Rivera, the barber to the athletes. Enter now at WQAM.com/contest. Hopefully back after this.
I
I don't. You say that Marcos is in my back pocket, and you say that he is always trying to.
Oh, I don't say. It's a fact.
It's not true. It's not true.
What?
Because he did something during.
Dude, here's your biggest hype man you got.
It's not true.
He's a bigger hype man than Tommy.
Because he did. It's. He did something during the break that angered me because I think he saw you were getting mad at me. So he's like, what I'll do. This is why he's the best in the game. He balances out the anger.
This isn't balanced.
No,
Hold on.
It's balanced. It's balanced.
Oh my
It's
God.
balanced.
Look how angry he is.
Because he infuriated me during the break with this dumb ass Bill Simmons fake trade scenario.
We're very angry.
I just hate Bill Simmons so much, dude. I hate him, dude. He's just a rat bastard. And I'm quite frankly just tired of his nonsense because he's so against the Heat getting Damian Lillard. Go ahead.
Over this daft chunk.
To get lucky. He's just so against the Heat getting Damian Lillard that he's just like making up the dumbest scenarios in trade land. And his genius fantasy trade is the Trailblazers doing a swappy swap with the Minnesota Timberwolves for Karl Anthony Towns. And I'm thinking to myself, really, that's you? So let me get this straight. You think that the Trailblazers want to, first of all, trade for Karl Anthony Towns at their point in where they're at right now, which he makes $1 gazillion to have grandma arms and say ridiculous things. You think that that's what they want to do. Then on top of it, you think that Damian Lillard's going to be cool with going to a team that's Anthony Edwards' team when he's Damian Lillard. So instead of going to a place where he'd be the number one scoring option, he'd go to a place where he would never have the ball at the end of the game because
would he be the number one scoring option here?
Yeah, for sure.
So why wouldn't he be it there?
Because it's Anthony Edwards' team.
Yeah,
he's that guy.
He's a beast. Yeah.
He's coming up, and he's just a bit like it's so dumb. Like,
can I ask you something?
What?
Why do you fall for everything?
I'm not falling for it.
You are. You get annoyed at just nonsense.
By the way, just FYI, the Timberwolves, no draft picks. No draft pick. You want to know why? They gave them all for Rudy Gobert.
That's right.
All of them.
So
And by the way, they ruined trades forever because they're idiots. Because they gave up $1 gazillion picks for Rudy Gobert.
So a straight up trade is what he proposed.
He just wants a straight up trade.
There's no picks with that. Right?
No picks.
You think he says that?
That's what he says all the time. And I'm sick of his nonsense because like, look, I don't even know if the Damian Lillard trade is going to happen, but I just think that the ferocity that his website has come out because it's a Boston NBA media mafia, right? It really is just the highest of propaganda of O'Keefe's and O'Malley's and O'Sullivan's and all of these people from Boston who come out there. There's very few good people from Boston like Jon Anik, but like the rest of them who cover the NBA, bums, all of them. And they all come out with the same Celtics propaganda nonstop, and they're terrified. Could you imagine, Leroy, could you imagine the Miami? Think about this right now. How scared in your shorts would you be if you're a Celtics fan if you just lost to a team in the finals, which you basically got swept? You lost that series 5-2. You have a series where you got.
How did you lose a series 5-2?
Because that whole Derek White tip in, that was a garbage win. That was a fake win. They didn't win that game. Okay, it just extended the series, and the inevitable happened. So they lost that series really 5-2.
Not a true loss.
How was it 5-2?
Because the Heat really beat them 5 times.
Yep.
It happened to be a 7. Like it'll officially.
But you can't give them the win and the Heat the win.
No, they won 5-2. So like the Heat won the series 5-2.
No, what I'm saying, if you
it just got extended. It's not a true win for them. It really was a win for the Heat. They really won 5
wins.
times.
You only need to win 4.
I know, but they had to really win 5 because they made them win again.
But then why are you giving the win to Boston?
I'm not. I took a win away from them. I don't know.
No, you didn't.
I added it up to
they
7.
won 3. They won 3.
No, they didn't win 3.
No. They like initially, but now that we've reviewed,
it's
only
5-2.
2. Yeah,
right. 2. It's 5-2 series.
I can't
keep
up.
Don't worry about it. The point is, imagine being a Boston Celtics fan, right?
I'm worried.
Imagine it.
Yes.
Imagine being a Boston Celtics fan, and you got throttled by Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, and Gabe Vincent. And they're going to replace Gabe Vincent with Damian Lillard. How scared should you be? So I understand why you're doing this, Bill Simmons, with your nonsense and your Pearl Jam and your wacky scenarios of ringer. I know why you're so scared, because could you imagine in a world where Gabe Vincent, handsome as he may be, J-Fig, Gabe Vincent gets replaced by Damian Lillard, because the only thing handsomer than Gabe Vincent is Damian Lillard's game. And imagine putting that on the Heat, that you replaced Gabe Vincent with Dame. What is that? The greatest upgrade in the history of upgrades?
Sure.
So why would Boston want that? So that's why they're moving heaven and earth, making up articles talking about mystery teams and trades to the Wizards and trades to the Wolves and trades to the Raptors. And this could work. But if he said the only team that he wanted to go to was the Celtics, which you would never say. But let's just say that he said it. Say, Damien, they would say, you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it. Ringer. That's what they would say. That's what they would say. And by the way, they would do the same thing if it was the Knicks, because this Northeastern monopoly that the NBA media has, all of them, the Bobos in the Bronx, Knicks tape, and Stephen A. Smith, and the whole lot of them. But because he came down here, he said he wants to come to Miami. Whoa, no, we can't have that.
By the way, the Miami Heat do have the biggest upgrade of all time, but it wouldn't be Dame Lillard or Gabe Vincent. Prior to LeBron James joining, these are our small forwards. James Jones was the starter, and then we have Yakahuba Diawara.
Don't disrespect the Cougs, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Okay.
So, no, that's
What?
not the Cougs. I'm not going to let you talk about Yakuba Diawara like that. So,
Yeah.
I don't accept your point.
You don't think
I
that
don't
that's a
accept your
bigger
point.
upgrade?
No, I don't think. I don't accept your point.
Okay.
And so, what I would like
So
to
to
say,
go with the greatest scorer in the NBA?
have you seen the Cougs game?
Okay. Let me see what
That
with
was
the
10
Cougs.
years ago? No. More than that.
The Cougs had the Rainbow Three, dude. Great stroke.
Okay.
Number 9.
How long did he play?
Couple years.
With the Heat.
I think he was. I think Cougs was still on the roster come training camp with
When?
LeBron.
Oh.
Yeah, he averaged 0.83 points that last season.
It really was a case of but you got to remember that was a D-Wade dominant team.
Yeah.
So like you're not going to get the ball a lot if you're the Cougs.
The Cougs. That's I tell you what, that guy is a trivia question somewhere. I don't know.
You're disrespecting the Cougs. Okay. I'm not going to let you keep doing
Spell
that.
it.
Okay. I couldn't spell Yakuba Diawara. It's very hard. But the Cougs, I can spell.
Okay.
Because his Twitter handle is actually the Cougs.
You still follow the
No, it's
Cougs?
not. Swear to God.
No. You still follow the whereabouts of the Cougs? Yeah, it is. It's the Cougs.
Give me a point.
That's a point.
That's a point.
Point for Tobin.
He does live in Miami.
Paris.
I'm telling you, Yakuba Diawara, he was ahead of his time. I'm telling you, Mark.
He's a coach?
I don't know. I don't know what he's up to these days. But what I do
This is the longest anyone's talked about him in a decade.
Well, you
for
brought him
sure.
up, not me.
I know.
You
but
tried to make an argument that was bad.
It's not a bad argument. You don't think the upgrade from the Cougs to LeBron James is more significant than from Gabe Vincent to Dame Lillard?
Well, here's the thing. You had to.
Why does he only have one person?
Well, maybe they do one-on-one training sometime, dude.
He's a Cougs.
Why are you obsessed with watching the Cougs Twitter account right now?
He's expensive.
Is he?
You know, one guy can only afford his training.
The last time he tweeted something of value was just "Congratulations, Denver Nuggets." You know what? You're dead to me.
Wow. Hey, Tobin loves and Tobin hates.
You're dead to me.
It was short-lived.
The same guy in the same sentence.
I'm just saying though, like it's just. Minnesota. Shut up, dude. Like, why do you?
You're the only one who gets caught up in this.
He sent it to me because somebody
No,
on
but
Instagram
because
put it
he
on
knows
Instagram.
he knows
and they
you're
put a Photoshop with him on the Wolves.
Wait,
and I
wait.
don't want him on the Wolves.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You've never done that to me.
Done what?
You know what?
What?
Send
You
things
know
to
what?
piss him off.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I sent him yesterday. I sent him the Jonathan Taylor Barry Jackson report. He wouldn't even respond
And
to me.
he ignored it.
I ignored it.
And then he was like, "You didn't send me anything because you were expecting my silly sauce." So I think
Yeah.
you've come to love it.
No,
I think so.
no,
You secretly do.
no. Really?
Yeah.
You don't think he does? He goes
Your
too
life
far
would be
sometimes.
incomplete without Tobin.
No,
You-
you complete me.
I'm just saying, dude. You Cougs, you lose, okay? And I'm just like,
dude.
No, just
Why? Deep. He's a hype man.
He's not a hype man.
He's a hype
He's
man.
the one who got me angry. We're even.
No,
look at that.
no.
You cover up.
Wait a
Cover up.
minute. You did, dude. I had to drink water because my voice. I was losing my voice.
What? But we're even right now.
No, we're not.
We're both angry.
No, we're not.
You're mad
not
at me.
angry.
I'm mad at Bill Simmons.
You're not that angry.
No. You mad at Bill Simmons over there?
I don't like.
I'm
Bill
looking
Simmons.
right at you.
I really don't. I don't. You know, I really don't.
You think he just sits in his bathtub like, yeah, that's a good idea, and then just tweets it out?
I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does, but he hates the idea of Miami swapping out Gabe Vincent for Damian Lillard. It makes his blood boil, and he's all of a sudden just like, why do they have to do it? It's just like, oh, okay, now you're against it. Like it's hilarious.
RBA Richie says Marcos is a hot man, not a hype man.
My question is that.
And by the way, I don't even know if I want Damian Lillard anymore.
Why?
Whoa!
What? Okay, Marcus.
It's been too long. I don't even know if I want him. You know.
I told you have time until camp.
Well,
give it until camp.
Tyler,
if you say that when camp starts,
yeah,
I won't argue.
Okay.
But now stop.
No, I don't even know if
It's
I
too
want
much.
him. I don't even know if I want him. You know, we got Tyler Hero coming back into another year.
yeah.
You know, Spo was saying he's going to be healthy. We got Nikola Jovic. Look at what he's turning into. He's taking over for Serbia. You
Hold
got
on.
Jaime Jaquez
No.
Jr.
See, this is the worst.
He's taking over.
This is the worst because when this all started,
Mm-hmm.
I was a big proponent. Hey, man, are you not curious to see what Jovic is going to be with all these European players built like him
didn't you
coming
see him?
over?
He strings it. Did you hear that yesterday?
I didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
I still feel the same way.
Yeah, but
Now all of a sudden he makes one bucket in Euro League, and all of a sudden now you want Jovic?
he used the Karan Butler move.
Hold up. Step back three. Strings it. What a tough shot that is. Nikola Jovic.
It sounds like he's got to take another hit.
I guess if you listen, if you
another hit of whiskey
Look,
or a
yeah,
cigarette,
he's-
right?
Look, if you had to twist my arm, I'll take Damian Lillard. But I don't know if I want him.
Wow.
You know, I'm I like my guys. If you twist my arm about it, yeah, I'll take Damian Lillard on the Heat. But like, you know, I like Tyler Hero. You know, when do we get away from rooting for Tyler Hero? Baby goat. He's jacked, works hard, you know, fun hats, man of the community.
You are the worst.
Why? I guess push comes to shove. I'll take.
I think I think this
Okay.
is another reason why I get pissed off when you get so gun ho over players. Because I know next week you'll change your damn mind.
That's not true. That's not fair. But who's got to be? You know,
Oh,
see,
no.
here's the thing. Somebody has to be there for the rise. You know, anybody can be there when they know he's good. You know, so when I build up some credibility,
Wait, like I said with Jovic,
yeah, I'll give you credit. You're on the Jovic bandwagon early. You know, a couple of Jovies, you and me. But yeah, but I think the thing that I'm worried about is like you think that I'm a fraud, but really I'm the realest of the real because I'm there when Duncan Robinson comes up. I'm there for the come up, the hipster band when he's just playing bars and nobody knows who he is.
first of all, stop.
What?
You ain't hood.
He's here for the
Don't
come
talk
up.
about nobody's come up.
Yeah.
You ain't
How do you say it, boy?
what?
What's up with your boy?
What?
What's up with your boy?
Stop! You're not helping. I'd rather you sing Creed. 'Cause that's-
What's up with your boy?
I'm black. I don't sound like that ever. like,
I think he got it right in the money.
really?
Same guy that uses this though.
Who is this current squeeze?
Sure, I really don't know what to do with this. Goes both ways.
You and Fangs went they to Cracker Barrel the other day?
I would love to go to Cracker Barrel with Fangs.
Jesus Christ.
Happy birthday to Fangio.
First of all,
Yeah.
when was the last time you've been to Cracker Barrel?
When I came back from Tennessee, we stopped at the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Road trip.
There's
It could
one
be a road
right.
trip.
There's one right off of 75. Me and Fonz went like a couple of months ago,
Yep.
and we sat in there. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, there was more walkers and like, oh my goodness.
Adam's mad at me.
Oh,
You're just a big hypocrite. A couple of weeks ago, can't wait for Lillard. Now I love Tyler. Can it be both?
Well,
No.
actually,
Why not?
You don't.
No,
allow
you
it to be
can't. No, you
both.
can't. Wait,
so.
it's only both for you, so you can backtrack and wiggle and change your
Can it be
mind.
both though? Can it be
No,
both?
man.
Why do I have to hate Tyler because I want Damian
Because
Lillard?
you've been trading Tyler all summer.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
Tobin.
Stop it.
Come on.
Stop
There's
it.
so much evidence on this.
I don't know.
I think one time I proposed the idea of being able to keep Tyler, and I think you were quoted as calling me a dum dum. If I'm not
Because you
mistaken.
say, what are you trying to do, Peter Pan? You can't get this is the real world. You got to trade something to get something. You want Dame Lillard, you got to trade some pieces.
Yeah,
That's what you say. Now you go, you know what? Can we have both? Stop. You're a phony.
I just don't think it's going to be as big.
Phony.
No, here's what I would say. If they don't get Damian Lillard, I just don't think the drop off is going to be as crazy as people think because they have Jimmy Butler, they have Bam, they'll figure it out.
Hold on. Now, hold on.
Yep.
Drink the water. Make sure that.
Isn't that the same thing I've been saying about the damn running backs?
How's that same?
You said if they don't get Damian Lillard,
Yeah.
that what they have with the
Come on, dude. This is man. Like I respect you, but you got to grow up in some cases because the Dolphins just had a 9-win season. You know, like they just made the playoffs. He won the finals. You sound silly.
Grow up, Peter Pan.
And the reason they didn't go further in the playoffs was because of their defense.
Well, and their quarterback was hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So, and you have the reasons why.
You think they're going to the Super Bowl?
No, I don't know.
Do you think they're going to the Super Bowl?
They have a chance.
What if they get Jonathan Taylor? You know, they get
It doesn't raise.
doesn't increase their chances at
No,
all.
no,
At all.
no,
Zero.
no,
Not 1%.
no,
Not 0.5%.
no,
Really?
no.
Okay.
The only thing that changes.
you think-
the only thing that raises their percentages is if you told me right now Tua's going to play all 17 games.
I'm telling you right now. Okay, so let me just get this straight. The Dolphins don't have to give up anybody on their roster.
Hold on. Okay.
Hold on. I'm giving you 2 of 17 games. Okay. Christian Wilkins is here and he's happy. But they add Jonathan Taylor. You don't think they're better?
Doesn't change the bar. Interesting. It doesn't. It doesn't.
What if they picked up Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Handsome.
Is he still handsome?
I don't know, actually. I mean,
What if he's an ogre now?
Then we got to get rid of him.
Who's his current squeeze?
Okay.
Dude. Nobody uses that phrase anymore.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass
Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Hey, want to get your hair cut by the Miami Hurricanes and Miami Dolphins barber? We've got your chance to freshen up your look with Steven Rivera, the barber to the athletes. Enter now at WQAM.com/contest. Before we get to our headlines, Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Desmond and Dover law firm? Your accidentattorneys.com. Freak out stations 24/7. Call them up at 866-954-MORE.
Coming in at the moment, it is about 92, 93 degrees, and the winds are a little bit stiffer, 15 miles an hour, maybe gusting a little bit higher out of the east. As you can see the plane going by, Tobes. See it going on the side of that building? Here it comes. It's coming. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how you can tell which way it
Marcus,
is.
you see the plane?
Yes.
No, I don't say. Oh, I see it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I figure out what the winds are doing. Just look up at the planes. Usually planes land and take off into the wind. There you go. Other than that, the winds are pretty strong today. So might be 15 gusts, a little bit higher.
Solid.
Still going to have that evening shower. That never goes away, ever.
Yeah, make sure you use a loofah.
And no, we're not fake Googling.
Let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Marlins back on the field tonight. They are taking on the San Diego Padres.
Good luck with that one.
9:42.
Oh, by the way, I signed us up for something.
What?
Huh?
Karaoke.
No, broadcast from the Heat golf tournament.
Oh,
yes.
It's at the Biltmore though.
Where is it?
That's
when
in
is it?
down
Hey,
south.
that's nice. It's close to me.
When is
Yeah.
it?
The Biltmore.
September 8th.
Like-
So we got to get on land because I'm playing in it. So I'm gonna leave
Oh!
anyway. So you might as well be there.
That's a good
You might as well be there.
Let's do it, dude. I'm in.
All right.
Hey,
All right.
All we need is in.
Can I heckle you? What time does tee
Wait,
off?
does that mean Marcos and I are invited? What's going on?
Yeah.
What
We
time?
gotta-
What's
we-
going on with this?
No, Marcos is never
I
invited.
think
You got to do it from here.
Biltmore sounds too fancy for old toes. Can I
It's
wear
very
shorts?
fancy,
Biltmore.
apparently.
Yeah.
I've never gone.
Need to build less.
I'm just gonna be sitting there with my Tito's and lemonade.
Oh no! And let me tell you, I'm starting early. Yeah, because here's why. When you play in these events like this, there's a couple of things you need to remember. Is that one, everybody doesn't take golf as serious as you, so have fun with it, right? And so usually I'll have a couple of cocktails and have some fun with it.
Wait, you said it was September 8th?
September 8th on Friday.
Oh, okay, I see that. Okay.
That's what sales guy just told me. The cool one.
Cool. I like it.
The with the glasses. I think he's the manager or whatever.
Oh, Paul.
Paul. Yeah.
What else we got here? What was this? Oh, we got a major hurricane.
So I just signed us up. I didn't know. I told him I'd let him know.
You know me, dude.
But
I'm happy.
We need to talk to Galen about getting the broadcast out there.
Well, he's out till Friday.
But it's next Friday. No, it's 2 Fridays.
Yeah,
we
I
got
understand,
time.
you know. Major Hurricane says, "Pay Wilkins, dude. Fix it.
Wow.
Fix it.
Fix it."
That's Leroy's
No,
take.
it's not.
You have any messages for Chris Grier?
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I've enjoyed all the action that you provided. Your draft picks have been pretty good, right? When you look at the last 5 years of draft picks, contributors, right? It's time to pay those guys. Christian Wilkins is one of the reasons why your defense has even be considered for anything. And it's time to show that you take care of your own. 16
tackles for loss
and 3.5 sacks. So basically, he's had 19.5 sacks.
Never thought about it
He
like
just
that.
didn't sack. Well, that's all a sack is a tackle for loss, but a quarterback.
I feel like does it go back further though? You know,
Huh? No, you don't.
Good point.
Just asking.
Most sacks occur within 3 or 4 yards of the line of scrimmage.
How many
Because
was
there's
it? 20? Or
he had 16 tackles for loss.
Quinn
and
Williams only had 12 last year.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, look at that.
And 3.5 sacks. Well, Quinn Williams had more sacks, and he's had half of the tackles.
The year before that, he only had 7.
Right.
And does he like musicals? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though. He keeps his stats during Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
that guy loves some him.
Yeah, he does.
Again,
he's like, I had 10.
One of the reasons
10
why
sacks.
I hate people doing stats in preseason, right? Or in practice.
Well,
is because everybody's trying to accomplish something. They ain't game planning for success.
I was just reading a rundown of all the things that happened today at practice, and then I just saw the first highlight from practice, and Tyreek Hill's wearing sweatpants.
All right.
So I feel like I don't care about this.
True.
When he's wearing sweatpants at practice?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're practicing.
They're just in shirts and
Yeah.
they're wearing helmets.
Right.
Leroy, you said you don't like
Which is
people-
funny. How come they have to wear helmets? Is it just always for view?
It's a football
No,
thing.
it's a football thing. You get hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. Like, why can't we just why can't there be a bucket hat day like at OTA?
Because it's walkthrough.
Don't say that to Sean Payton. You know how he feels about those bucket
Oh,
hats.
he hates bucket hats.
Yeah.
Who wore? Didn't somebody wear it to troll him?
Oh, really?
I feel like Sauce Gardner did.
I think everybody will wear them. Like Bill Belichick used to hate. People sat on their
Garrett
helmets.
Wilson.
And every time we practiced against the Giants, they would all line up and sit on their helmets. Just because he hated it so
That's
much.
great.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
But
love control?
one of those guys was LT. So you know how much he
Who's
loved
the
him
greatest
some
player
LT.
of all time?
You know he loved him some LT.
Who's the greatest player? Oh, remember when somebody asked him if Aaron Donald was like Lawrence Taylor and he got offended? I've never heard
Oh
of
my
it.
goodness.
Okay.
Bill, you think this Aaron Donald? What is Aaron Donald? 4-time Defensive Player of the Year?
Three?
No, I think
Three, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
This guy's pretty scary. And you go, whoa. I've never heard Bill Belichick so enraged about anything.
Yeah.
We're talking about Lawrence Taylor now. Whoa.
Dude,
times.
he loves that guy.
Apparently so.
He was nice to me because of Lawrence Taylor.
Really? Lawrence Taylor got you in with Bill Belichick?
No, it wasn't that. So here's what happened. Shh, don't tell nobody. So we
air.
so LT, when they came to Cleveland to practice, he asked everybody, "Hey, who's a golfer?" Like Leroy. So I had never met LT. He come over, "Hey, young fella, what you doing in between practices?" I said, "Nothing. I'm going rest because Bill's killing us. Let's go golfing." Like, I ain't got it like that. You LT. I'm not. Don't worry about it.
What?
So I went with LT.
That was the right answer.
I went with- I went
LT
with-
says go golf.
I
You go
went-
golf.
I went with LT. Came back that night, that evening, went into the evening meeting. Bill goes, "How's the doctor's visit?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
I've
about
been
that?
golfing with LT for years, and yeah, there's nobody who respects that man more than Bill Belichick.
Man.
Keep in mind, he was Tiger Woods of football. He changed the way you had to block. He changed the way you had to defend
That's insane.
that defense. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And to this day, I don't care how much football I ever played, I have never tried a stunt like LT did. Never. Ever.
Crazy. Doctor. Belichick I feel like he would never do that. The LT.
But here's the deal. The thing that people don't realize about Bill is that he would do and say things that would make you think that this dude is ruthless. But then to us, he would do things like, I remember when we used to have, the rookies used to have to do, the rookie show every night, like before the evening meetings during camp. Somebody else would have to get up, do something, sing, tell jokes, whatever. One time, it wasn't good. So we booed the guys off. So Bill comes in, he stands up, first order of business. He goes, "Rookies, these last few days have been miserable, and we want entertainment." He said, "If y'all don't bring it better tomorrow, all the rookies are getting up and running at 6 in the morning. Let me tell you something. It was like vaudeville up in there. Or like we went to San Diego one year and we went out on Friday. We didn't play till Sunday. So here's what he did. All the coaches had Brown's credit cards. He said, I know you guys are going to go out. Here's the deal. If you go out with one of these coaches in these vans, all your drink is free, right? And you have a later curfew. If you're not in one of these vans with the coaches, your curfew is at 10.
Damn.
So like he really like, and so when you hear people talk about him, they don't really ever say anything negative about him. He just.
No, listen, those are great stories. I mean, listen, he could still go to hell, but I mean, like, great stories, though, dude. Great stories.
Come on, man.
Still a cheater. Still a cheat. You know, Don Shula rolling over in his grave and thinking about that, he's going to pass him an all-time win. But, you know, a great guy.
I mean, I never benefited from none of that.
We'll we'll take a quick break. Interesting question on where I stand on a certain sports thing right now. That's next. Welcome back, everybody. We just berated J-Fig for no reason during the break. Sorry.
I hope you know what I want a public apology.
I apologize. But really, Marcos should be apologizing.
Hold on.
You started the whole thing. You instigated everything.
You know when people come in here yelling, I just
You know
start
what your
yelling?
new name should be?
Orchestrated.
PTB.
What?
Pass the buck.
Wow.
That's what you do.
Why is it my fault? He's the one crying over his birthday in stupid August.
I don't think I was. Though.
How uncomfortable is that to have Jonathan Taylor standing there watching practice?
It's going to be a lot more comfortable when he's down here. I
Mm.
mean, probably not physically because it is really hot down
Very
here.
hot down here.
But, I mean, he's going to like it a lot more.
Comfortable enough for Tyreek Hill to wear sweatpants.
Yeah, but it was inside, though.
Mm.
It was inside.
So what you're saying? No, new JT only stays inside. I like that.
I'm just saying, dude. By the way, RVA Richie wants to know. He says, interesting question. Tobin, now that you're into soccer, are you watching the Champions League today?
No, we already saw the league champions. Why would we watch?
There's another Champions League because I just saw the championship 2 days ago. It was Messi. Messi won all of it. So.
Which one of these bums is kicking off today?
Who's claiming? Who do they got out? Is this
Let's
AC
see.
Milan?
Let's see. Champions League. Oh, I googled it. It says who cares? No, okay. Today's champion. I don't know any of these people. Today, Antwerp plays against AK Athens. No one cares. There's a team called the Young Boys. I don't know if I like that.
Really?
Very strange.
I don't know, dude. I mean, like, why is the why are there leagues claiming that they're the champions? Like, is Inter Miami in this league? Because Miami is a champion now. So, like, shouldn't have they gotten the invite?
Why am I? If this is the playoffs,
all leagues aren't invited. It's European leagues.
So what you're saying is that they're scared.
No, it's European leagues.
I think you are saying that.
Why is it just? I mean,
because that's what it's called.
I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't they invite somebody else? I thought that they just think they could roll over any American team.
What does UEFA mean? That probably is the answer that we're looking for.
It's the European.
Nah, Europeans with a E.
Huh. Stunt Steve says Marcos and Tobin sound like twerps.
Yeah,
twerps.
I've never heard that.
Wow.
Twerps. When's the last time you who calls somebody a twerp? Fangio.
Oh yeah, he does.
The old love calling people twerps.
Also, Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents.
That's what I was just about to.
It's the only time I've ever heard twerp publicly.
Twerp.
I'm just saying. Like
what is this, dude? I'm looking at the teams from this champion. There's no Barcelona. There's no Real Madrid. Who are these dumb people?
Really? It's kind of silly.
Copenhagen, though. I like them. Or is it Copenhagen?
I'm being told from Solana, bottom feeders of Euro.
Look at that.
Nobody watches it.
No one
What?
watches.
Do they
that.
call it the Champions League? I
Yeah,
guess
you know what's crazy?
It's kind of like those.
You know what I like in soccer? What they do is you can get delegated if you don't win enough points.
I think it's relegated, isn't it?
Relegated.
You know what I would say though? Like,
Is it relegated?
Uh-oh.
I think it's. I don't know.
Why are you?
It's not delegated. I know that.
Relegated means past tense. Relegate. Really good. Consign or dismiss to an inferior rank or position.
Yes,
I
that's
was
what
right.
it's relegated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a
you're
point
right.
for me.
No.
That's
You
the point.
came out there.
That's the point.
Can I ask a question?
He was right.
Why on earth can he get a point
Yeah.
when he wasn't even sure himself?
I was sure you're the one who doubted. You put doubt in my.
I'm very angry over
Yeah,
that.
like I don't understand.
It's a -1 for Sass.
-1 for Sass.
By the way, you want to talk about a real show pony move? This Jim Harbaugh
Ooh,
self-sanctioning
almost-
suspension.
Suspension. Why? What did he do?
Self-imposed a 3-game suspension.
Self-imposes.
Well, no, weren't they going to? I thought he was suspended 4 games.
No, but then they wouldn't accept it, so now he made his own suspension.
I did that once. Can't fire me. I quit.
So, like, what are the games he's missing? Who are you missing? Rutgers?
No, it's like some bunnies.
Some bunnies?
Yeah.
Who they got going out there? Who's who? They're just gonna have a player coach go out there for the bunny games. Let's see. Teams.
Their schedule for the first. I'm assuming. Well, I don't know what games
3
he picked,
games.
but if it's first 3 games, that would be East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green.
Oh yeah, what a punishment!
Yeah.
So he'll be back for Rutgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
what a punishment.
I don't even see it. They have like 2 games against ranked teams. What a cupcake
Oh, you guys have
schedule.
to start with 4 straight home games?
Cupcake schedule.
Most colleges play most of their games at home.
4 straight home games?
And most colleges can't play most of their
Somebody-
games at home.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be away.
Somebody called the baker for these cupcakes.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. You're the one that had to go and play. Who's that you had supposed to go play in the middle of nowhere?
Appalachian State.
Appalachian State. Like that.
Remember they were like,
we don't do that.
Yeah, they were.
We don't do that.
Illegal air?
No, we don't do that. Appalachian State.
I tell you what though, dude.
It's
I heard.
not in,
I heard.
hold on.
No, it was.
Back
Yes.
up.
What?
We don't just allow that to go by.
Remember, this guy
What?
thinks that Chicago is in the West Coast.
Is it not Midwest? I'm sick of this.
Appalachian State is in
Appalachia.
It's in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
All right. Well, there's mountains though. Is there not Appalachia?
That's where Luke Combs is from. He went to Appalachian State.
Hmm.
You know,
illegal air.
It's not illegal air on the Atlantic.
You guys lost him. You know them at home. Just saying.
Hold on.
I'm just
Hold,
saying.
hold
dude.
on. Hold on. Are you serious with me right now?
What?
Are you serious?
What?
How many times you play in the playoff?
Who?
Hmm.
The
Miami.
Canes?
Yeah.
Never.
Okay. Wait, how many times have you even played for your own conference?
Well, I mean,
Twice. Well, once they self-sanctioned, so they bowed out, but once.
Okay. All right. I'm
But
just
you know, like if we were in a real conference, like you know, we up the
that's right.
competition. You know,
Yep.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you play better?
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. We play up to our
Rise to the competition. You know,
Mhm.
And this current look, I'm not gonna say that you're not gonna be better this year.
at Temple.
I'm not saying that. But here's what I'm gonna say, right? Based on what has happened here the last 4 or 5 years, could be Rutgers in the Big Ten or the SEC.
No way, dude.
Okay.
That's not happening.
Okay.
Wait till you see what happens. I was listening to Jason
I
Taylor.
said I just said I'm not discrediting what they're doing for this year.
Yeah.
But up to this point,
Right.
you'd have been Rutgers. Yeah, okay.
Just a respect factor, you know.
Yep.
Who respects to you right now?
Everybody.
No, you are a liar.
It's coming.
Really?
Fear.
Wait till you see what JT does.
The last wait, who was it that came in here and the coach say, "Go get my money"?
That was Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Those guys are tough.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think they were fast.
Hey, first of
Oh.
all, when you have a college name like a serial killer, I can't take you serious. 3 names.
Middle Tennessee State University.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
It was a surprise last year, but you know that's past us now. You know,
There were 5. How many games you win last year?
the
Five.
Canes they have 5.
Okay.
5. That's
So how many games you think they're gonna win this year? Just out of curiosity.
The Canes.
I think they'll be better.
how many games did Jim Harbaugh win his first year?
7 or 8.
I'm gonna go.
That was way closer than I thought.
I'm gonna go. Oh wait, this is Middle Tennessee schedule. My bad.
Okay. Okay. It's like, oh, I'm liking our odds.
You're like, wow, man, what an easy schedule.
Wow,
we
we
go
played-
undefeated.
Expecting that.
We played Nova this year.
Interesting.
Nova.
They did. Middle Tennessee State basically beat all the South Florida teams last year. Canes,
Rough.
FAU, FIU.
We start things off with
All right,
Miami.
so we
Ohio.
got a Miami of Ohio. That's a
Texas
win.
A&M again.
No. I asked you what
Oh,
the.
that's
I
a
don't
win.
want to do. That's when. That's a loss.
Well, I
That's
need
a
to go
win.
through it. I mean,
No, you don't.
Let me just eyeball it.
No comments.
Can I make one comment about the strength of schedule in comparison to Michigan's?
What?
3 ranked teams on our schedule, only 2 on Michigan.
They're ranked now.
It's going to swing on the Florida State game
Ah.
because it's either 9 or 10. I'm not sure.
So you think they have 9, 10 wins?
Yeah.
Let me see the schedule.
Easy peasy 9 or 10 wins, actually.
I'm looking Miami, Ohio, Texas A&M, Bethune-Cookman, Temple, Georgia Tech. They'll beat. They always lose to North Carolina. I know they're going to lose that game.
Lose to Clemson.
Always lose to Clemson,
Wiggins. Oh, Virginia.
Virginia,
That was Wiggins.
NC State, and then at
University.
Doak. So if they
And then
beat
Florida State
at
top
Doak.
10.
if they win at Doak, 10-win season. If they lose at Doak,
Yeah.
9-win season.
What about Louisville?
They'll beat Louisville.
Louisville's gonna be good this year. by the way.
No, not as good as the Canes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not as good
All
as
right.
the Canes. Although
I'd say 9 wins would be a big step. I'm looking closer around 8. 8, maybe you squeeze one out. 9, 8, 9 wins.
Boston College nooner on Friday after Thanksgiving.
Oh,
makes me
you
nervous. Hate sleepy
Robbie,
nooners.
you know Robbie.
Damn it.
Robbie's gonna
Hate a
come in with the
sleepy
sleepy nooner.
In
Hate a
Boston?
sleepy nooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I'm going 9 wins for the Canes, but
Nine,
9 to 10. But I'm
it's
nervous.
more like 8 to 9.
That's mature.
I don't want to quibble.
Yeah.
Let's settle at 9.
Okay, hold on. You can't. It's not.
Gentleman's agreement.
It's not. No.
Oh man,
I got him undefeated, taking it all.
Yeah.
Stunting
Tobin
Steve-
normally does that.
Stunting Steve says low bar for me this year. Just make a bowl.
Okay,
That's such a low bar.
I mean, but is it?
It's just such a demeaning goal.
No.
I mean, the tropical smoothie Frisco Bowl. That's
No
a
way,
success.
dude. If we don't make it to somewhere that
If we're playing in the Bahama Bowl this year, no.
Oh no. Just don't go. Just skip the bowls. Forget it.
They don't skip the bowls. They want the stuff and the trip
Nah.
to the Bahamas. Remember there was that brawl at the Bahama Bowl? Oh, they got after it, dude.
Nice.
Hell of a brawl.
That's what the XFL needs. More brawls.
I mean, like, you can't be a bad team and fight. You can't.
Bahama brawl.
Yeah.
I like that.
Can we see Brian Cluster?
Brian Custer, that's who I wanted
Custer.
to thank.
Yeah.
You told me don't do it.
Yeah.
Thank him?
Yeah, I wanted to because he's the guy who did the Damian Lillard interview.
Oh,
where
yeah.
and I saw him with his family
Yeah,
at the
I'm like,
casino.
no.
Nice.
I'm like, I want to shake your hand.
Okay.
I wanted to go right up there and shake his hand.
I did say, wait a minute. Am I the first one that said that if they win 8 or 9 games, that's a big improvement this year?
Mhm.
I did. Okay. He's like, why is he
I can tell you the game that they better beat the other Miami. You can't be.
Here's the deal.
Yeah. Can't lose a battle.
Here's the deal. A true test to me is, can they get over the hump of losing to teams that you're not better than? I mean, losing to teams that you are on par with as far as talent, but they come in here and run over you like North Carolina every damn year. Right? Like, there's no reason. Like, my last memory in North Carolina is 2 guys running for 500 yards.
Well, they're not going to beat North Carolina.
Huh?
They're not going to beat North
But that's a
They always
test for
lose to
me.
North Carolina.
But that's a test for me. How
Not
can
this
we-
year, dude.
They always lose to North Carolina.
Nah, things are
Well, if you want a
changed.
better season, don't you have to change the narrative on certain things?
The tide
That
is
would be a way to
turning.
do it.
But I'm very scared of Mac Brown.
I'm scared of Florida State. At Florida State, being there a top 10 team.
How the hell did they get to top 10?
They were good last year.
Were they? Yeah. Where the hell was I? Maybe I was just in such denial that I didn't even.
No, you were watching Canes football.
Hey, let's take a quick break.
was.
Our guy, Jon Anik. Talk a little fighting with him coming up next.
Yeah. All right, it is the Tobin and Leroy show. Right now, I'm about to throw it to an interview that we had earlier today with Jon Anik. He gave us a lot of insight on this past weekend's UFC bout. In addition to that, we got a few hilarious stories from our boy Jon. Before, though, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to slide to my Marvel trivia tonight. It'll be going down at the Surf Comer Hotel. If you're interested in joining us for some Marvel trivia, again, hit me up in the DMs, my DMs, at OurGodSavvy. I'll go ahead and send you a link to get you a free ticket to Marvel trivia. This is not associated with the radio station. This is me using. No, I'm not advertising my stuff, J-Fig. And let's get to the interview of Jon Anik. OurGodSavvy, if you want tickets to tonight's Marvel trivia. Free drink with that, dude.
America's largest showrooms at Total of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. We love talking to this guy, the voice of the UFC. Jon Anik joins us there as UFC 292 was a banger this weekend, and it seems like the UFC coronated a new star with Sean O'Malley's TKO win over Aljamain Sterling. Jon, always appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Great to be with you guys. I went to a Titans-Patriots game, and, I couldn't drink the beer fast enough. The thing froze. It was the worst tailgate of my life. I spent it sitting in my Honda Civic. So I did 31 years in Massachusetts. I'm glad I'm in South Florida right now. Yeah, I would argue Suga Sean O'Malley was probably metrically a top 5 pay-per-view star for the UFC before this weekend, which may be overstating it. But certainly now when you have the belt, it gives you the opportunity to hit a stratosphere that you would not otherwise be able to hit.
You guys are so smart with this, Jon, when it comes to the UFC, because they even realize you guys never do this, where you have a guy, he wins the pay-per-view. Usually you always get the still shots because they want to I guess be fair to the pay-per-view customer. They put that puppy up on YouTube so quick because they're like, let's ride this Sean O'Malley thing to the moon. What do you think was the thinking of that? We got to hop even more on Sean O'Malley's star power here and send him to the moon.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it was a decision by ESPN, our pay-per-view provider. The model changed when the ESPN deal started in 2019. So the UFC gets its nut no matter what, and ESPN can do something like this selectively. I'm sure for Aljamain Sterling, this isn't ideal that this is the time they choose to repurpose this to the entire world. But yeah, there have been a lot of strokes of genius. And even though I, as somebody who works for the UFC, was somewhat critical that this fight was happening on the challenger and not the champion's timeline, Sean O'Malley still has to go out and do it. And I just can't believe how many people, even Aljamain Sterling with respect, were underestimating this guy. The eye test for me says that this guy's an absolute sniper. He's super fast. The numbers suggest he's the most accurate, significant striker in the bantamweight division history. So I'm not sure anybody should be all that surprised that when he found an opening, he didn't miss.
Do you in any way feel for Aljo? Because I almost feel like he got more love in the loss than he had for his entire reign, which is kind of strange because when he was doing what he was doing, he's beating the guys that he did. I didn't feel like he was getting the appreciation. Now everybody kind of feels like, oh, now you give flowers because, he was the bantamweight goat that Sean beat, but they didn't appreciate it while he was doing it.
Yeah, that's all fair. I think for Aljamain Sterling, he has this specific circumstance. He's the only guy in UFC history to win an undisputed title by disqualification. Still the only guy. May probably go down as the only guy, and that is just not going to do you any favors in the court of public opinion. I do hope that he sort of feels a little bit of that love because there's obviously been a lot of animosity. To say what you want about his charisma or lack thereof might be a little bit quirky, but he's a really good dude and well-intentioned guy. Grew up with next to no parental support and was very emotional in our fighter meeting this week. So that's kind of the way it goes, though, in mixed martial arts, especially when it comes to decision fights, right? If you win a close decision and the fan base doesn't think you deserve to, oftentimes a win can feel worse than a loss, right? But when you win, when you lose a fight and everybody thinks you won it, you're the king of the town. So it's hey man, it's a tough sport. I don't have to tell you guys,
You think we'll see that fight again, and this time people will kind of warm up to Aljamain a little bit more?
There are a lot of layers to it, my man, right? Like Aljamain Sterling is one of the best weight cutters in the sport, as Joe Rogan aptly said on the broadcast. So I don't know how many bantamweight cuts he still has left. As some of your listeners may know, his best friend, Merab Dvalishvili, is also the number one contender, which also causes things because I think Aljo would like to sort of get out of the way, win or lose, so that maybe Merab can have that opportunity. I can tell you, Aljo texted me yesterday. He's out for the rest of 2024. 23. So he's not going to fight till next year. He's not going to rematch Suga Sean O'Malley in December. But yeah, I mean, if ever a bantamweight champion was worthy of an immediate rematch, it's Aljamain Sterling. I just don't think an immediate rematch is in the cards. I wouldn't be surprised if Aljo's next fight is Sean O'Malley if Sean can successfully defend. But I just don't think that's going to be the next fight for Sean, even though I think Sterling is richly deserving.
John, what was the atmosphere like as the win happens, as the crowd's going? Like, how did Boston, I guess, take in that win?
So I'm from Boston, so perhaps my comments will be viewed through a lens of a lack of objectivity, right? But I learned a lesson to not try to compete with that crowd when I'm trying to cap a championship fight, because they drowned me out for 5 or 6 seconds, and maybe the UFC in the future will be able to actually isolate that audio. But my goodness, I mean, it felt like a Celtics Game 7 in there. You know, it was just insane. I took the cans off for a second, and it was just deafening. But of course, coming from a Boston guy, I'm sure a lot of South Florida sports fans are like, yeah, all right, you know, but it was insane. And the lesson for me as the broadcaster, especially with a loud crowd like that, is maybe just way to beat if you can. It's hard in the moment, right? I'm trying to cap history, but maybe way to beat and try to get in there, because, man, it didn't take them much to shower me the heck out.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, John, and if we could divert for a second, we know you're objective, because we got tipped off last week on WEEI about somebody. They were saying, oh, they'll take Mac Jones still over Tua, and I didn't know that the jumping off point was you. Yeah. And the jumping off point was apparently they were playing it on the morning show, and the jumping off point was, I guess, you were on one of the shows on EEI, and you apparently are not a Mac Jones guy. That you are rats off a ship on Mac Jones, which I understand, John. I mean, why wouldn't you be? But the idea that you are objective on your QBs, but the thing we were fascinated listening back to you is you actually have a quarterback list. You have made up a quarterback list.
I did, because these guys are trying to prevent me from ever calling an NFL football game in my life, throwing Mac Jones under the bus. And I knew that when I went in studio, they wanted to, talk about my supposed Mac Jones hatred. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. And certainly for your listenership, if you pull up a list of the NFL quarterbacks, even go pull up a fantasy football list, right, of rankings. It's not that far off in terms of where these guys actually rank. And other than maybe Sam Howell, and some of these rookies, there aren't that many guys that you would go into this season with, instead of Mac Jones. He's 27 or 28 in the league, with respect. So, right. Yeah, you're blowing my mind that even somebody would talk about him in the same realm as Tua. I'm okay if, one New England fan wants to, through rose-colored glasses, suggest that Mac Jones is better than Daniel Jones, but he just does not pass the eye test for me. And I hope Mac Jones isn't a UFC fan. I'm so fearful he's going to show up octagon side, and I'm going to have to register an apology between fights.
You got to get Tua to a fight whenever you guys are coming back down. The guy's doing jiu-jitsu now. Everybody's like, doing the huge fall. Like, we had Gilbert Burns on, and he's like, I'll teach him anytime, because Gilbert's apparently a rabid Dolphins fan now because his kids love Tyreek Hill. So he's like, I'll teach Tua whatever he needs to know so he doesn't get hurt. So he's getting embraced by all the MMA community. You may have an in there.
That's great. Yeah, I heard Tua is trying to learn how to fall and incorporating some jiu-jitsu tendencies and training. That's great. We'd love to get Tua at a show. The NFL guys are kind of prohibitive, right? Because like even in Vegas in the summer, some of them can't necessarily do. But yeah, hopefully we can get him there during the off season, because I do think anyone who hasn't seen this stuff live, you go to one live event and then you get it.
If you don't see it live, TV doesn't do it justice. You got to get the atmosphere. You got to get everything, even the coming out when they come out. Like, oh, it's just awesome.
John, what do you make of the career right now of Ian Gary? His performance this weekend at against Neil Magny, I guess his persona that he's kind of getting into. Like, what do you think is the ceiling for this kid?
Championship. He's 25 years old. My podcast co-host Kenny Florian is not willing to say championship yet. I think there's so much connective tissue between Ian Gary and Sean O'Malley. I think the big difference maybe is that Ian Gary has an entire, albeit small, nation of Ireland behind him, and right now could just bang out arenas in Ireland like it's nothing. Not that Sean O'Malley couldn't, of course, but Ian Gary is a sponge. He listens, and even though there's all this bravado and there's this cockiness on his fighter bio, he lists a strength as his ego. He understands his ego. He has a wisdom that certainly, but there's a wisdom that belies his 25 years. This is a kid who grew up in Ireland, during sort of the rise of Conor McGregor, and that's what got him to really take the next step. But he's got a good frame for the division. His head's a little bit small. Some people tell me his head's a little bit small, which maybe genetically isn't ideal in terms of long-term taking a shot. But he's going to establish roots in Brazil, training camp. What's that?
Isn't a smaller head harder to hit?
Yeah, but it doesn't take much, right, to hit that hit right on the button, you know. But he's still going to be in South Florida as his primary training camp, but he's going to establish roots in Brazil and not be living this nomadic lifestyle that he's been living of late. But he's a sniper on the feet, still untested on the ground. But I'm just as bullish on Ian Gary as I am on Sean O'Malley. It's just the speed and distance management. These guys are just next level strikers. And I would say Ian Gary already probably top 15 striker in the whole UFC.
Man. Yeah. Like when he mentioned the Wonder Boy thing, I was like, man, that I don't know if the fight will happen or not. I know Dana said that in Wonder Boy may not be keen on, but if it did happen, John, man, that's that one there is right. I mean, I couldn't even imagine how exciting that brawl would be.
Well, and Ian Gary will be favored, right? And people will be like, no, you know, and it's like, yes, unequivocally, right? He opened minus 340 against Neil Magny, who stepped in on relatively short notice this past weekend, and minus 340 was gone in a blink. So Ian Gary's the real deal. And certainly Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is not the guy that's going to test him in the grappling realm. And Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's coming up on 40. This kid's 25, and he hasn't even arrived yet in his fighting prime. So most people, you know, the handicap begins in that age column, and it's like 15 years between these guys, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. There were some rumblings that maybe Wonder Boy had some reluctance to accepting this fight, which they seemingly want to do in November, Madison Square Garden. So we'll see. But I think that fight makes just too much sense to not do.
A couple more before we get you out of here, John. I guess MSG is the rumored. I don't know if they've officially announced it, but the rumored date of John Jones and Stipe. I'm sure Stipe's going to be a monster underdog if that fight does happen. Would I be crazy to think that he could pull it off? Because I know John, I mean, he buzzsawed Cyril Gahn, but like this is the heavyweight GOAT, and he doesn't really have a weakness other than this thing than age. Would you think he has the best chance of anybody that John's ever faced to beat him?
Yes, and it's probably not the play-by-play guy's job to tell you that Stipe is a live underdog, but the betting line is out, and I was very surprised to see, I think, something like plus 225. Maybe even north of that next to Stipe. I don't get it. You know, he has come in at different weights relative to the challenge. It seems like he wants to, he had put on some weight for Francis Ngannou, and now I think he'll probably come in with that weight, that added muscle mass for the John Jones fight. But yes, I mean, if anybody can do it, it is certainly Stipe. And I think if anybody is more committed to the cause on a day-to-day basis, you know, despite his advanced age, if I can say that, it's Stipe, right? John Jones is out doing things. I mean, social media is a pretty good indicator, and it seems like Stipe has, you know, quietly just been absolutely working and training and getting better. So I think Stipe has a great chance, and I'm just hoping the fight stays together, right? Sometimes I feel like it's ambitious for these guys like John Jones and Henry Cejudo. They're out for 3 years, and now all of a sudden they're going to fight, you know, twice inside of 6 or 7 months. So I'm hopeful we get there, and John deserves to be the favorite. He's the greatest of all time, but yeah, Stipe's got a great shot.
And just before we get you out of here, John, the Conor thing, like it keeps going. He said on Twitter, he's like, oh, looks like it's not going to be this year. Then he comes out yesterday, December's back on the table. What do you make of all of this? The uncertainty, how Michael Chandler's got to be dealing with this, just when we get Conor back, and just like it feels like the goal line just kind of keeps moving on it.
Dude, I feel like Conor's getting a lot of unfair criticism in all of this. Chris Weidman had essentially the same injury, and he just came back a few nights ago, and his right leg, to me, sitting octagon side, respectfully looked atrophied and not at all ready to go. So whatever people want to sort of speculate as to what Conor McGregor is doing outside of the USADA pool to try to get healthy, this is a tremendously severe injury that there are regular human beings out there who suffer this injury 2 years later. They can't run, they can't jump, they can only barely walk, right? So I think we got to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. But now he seems ready to go. It'll be either December or January. I guess that's cautious optimism. You know, it seems like over the last 24 hours, he said December's out. Now it's back on the table. We're inching closer. And again, I do believe the guy wants to be in an active competition cycle, but he has to go out and prove that. And he was in a good cycle when he was fighting Poirier, and then his leg snapped in two, and nobody seems to want to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm hopeful that we'll see him a few times next year.
Isn't this his own doing, though? Because I think we'd be more patient with a lot of other fighters just based on their history and how they go about things. And because Conor is Conor, good and bad, right? He doesn't necessarily always get the benefit of the doubt or the things that you're talking about, because I do realize it's a serious injury.
Yes, but there are also things that work against him, right? Like during COVID, my man, they weren't going to trot Conor McGregor out at the UFC Apex, right?
Got you.
Can you imagine Conor walking out at the Apex? You know, he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight during COVID-19. I mean, could you imagine a superstar like that in his prime with no crowd at the Apex? It wasn't going to happen. So yes, of course he has done things that have made his active competition cycle not what we all thought it would be. But when he did return, I think he did with clear intentions against Poirier when they fought twice a couple of years ago to make a concerted effort at a world championship. And yeah, I don't love that maybe he's trying to position himself for a BMF belt, right? I think a talent on Conor's level should be chasing undisputed greatness still, right? In terms of really trying to cement your MMA legacy. No one's suggesting he's going to be a Mount Rushmore guy pound for pound, but the guy's got one lightweight win, right? That's his best weight class. He has one UFC lightweight win when he beat Eddie Alvarez for the title, and that's it. So you're not wrong. But I do think some things work against the superstars that aren't brought to light too.
Jon, we always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.